It's the Infinite Podcast. Go tell your friends. It's the Infinite Podcast. My God, it never ends. It's the Infinite Podcast with Rob and
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Project Infinite Podcast, the podcast covering the infinite and ever-expanding multiverse of fandom from movies, comics, TV shows, video games. We got you covered. You think after 155 of these I'd have this intro nailed down?
No.
But nope. Gets me every time.
No, that's what keeps us fresh.
Yeah.
New.
And fresh and new. I'm Rob. I'm here, as always, with Court. And Court, we saw Superman.
We did. We
saw a man fly.
Yeah, we did see a man fly. We did look up. I did most definitely look up. Because I was in the first seat in the theater. I'm kidding. But
Yeah.
yes, we saw Superman, James Gunn's Superman, the newest iteration, starring David Corenswet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, others. And I mean, just up top, what a picture. What a picture. I mean, this is, after one watch, this is probably in my top 5 to 10 favorite comic book movies of all time. I really felt a way leaving this theater, and obviously, if you can backtrace all this good stuff I've said about it, like, it's tough for people to be like, well, you're just on recency bias, but, you know a good thing when you see it, and for all intents and purposes, I saw it. I don't know why this keeps sticking in my head. There was one frame where, obviously, no spoilers yet, but Superman, he's like raising up. It's a trailer shot, but like in the movie inserted, I was like, oh wow, that's actually Superman. Like that is actually Superman who saves the cat out of the tree, who has the trunks on the outside, so kids feel safe. Like that's actually Superman. So in terms of performance, it's incredible. In terms of the look, it's pretty solid. In terms of the direction, it's great. And talking overall direction for the DCU, what a start! Like this is the dream start that they ever could have asked for. I do think this movie's on track to probably make $1 billion. And, this is it. This is the new DCU, and I couldn't be happier with this start.
Yeah, it's a great start, I think, for all involved. Obviously, we're going to probably do a pretty lengthy non-spoiler section, because obviously the movie's not even out yet, or it will be by the time this episode comes out. It'll be like opening weekend, basically.
Yep.
We saw it on Tuesday, and then we'll pretty heavily cut in to let you know when the spoilers are coming.
Right.
That way you can, listen to the non-spoiler stuff and then see the movie for yourself and then come back. Or if you don't care about getting spoiled, obviously you can stick around.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. But first, I guess we don't really have any news, but I did want to touch upon the Ghost of Yotei State of Play.
Sure.
That Sony showed off earlier today. And man, this game appears to be what, you've heard us say this before about anything, whether it's a game, whether it's a movie, whether it's a TV show, any type of follow-up or sequel, you always want to build upon what came before,
right, and
just expand it and make it better. And by all intents and purposes, that's what this game looks like it's doing.
Right.
Just putting, a new spin on familiar ground. We all know the backstory that this is going to take place some 400 years after the original Ghost of Tsushima. So obviously it has no ties to Jin Sakai or his story or anything like that. It's a totally new protagonist, Atsu, and she is being described as not so much a samurai, not so much a ninja, just a kind of lone wolf, mercenary, hell-bent on revenge. And I think that is an awesome backdrop for a samurai story.
Right. If the fox in the first game was like, the stand-in for Jin and kind of the way the fox, the mentality of the fox.
Yeah.
It's the mentality of the wolf, more specifically the lone wolf is kind of Atsu's story for this game. And we obviously just watched the State of Play like 30 minutes ago. It was absolutely an incredible showcase. I mean, just the adjustments. I love when second games really listen. I think Jedi Survivor did that, one of the best in recent memory of really listening to the fan base, what we want, what's needed to kind of propel the game into, the next chapter. And I think they're doing a phenomenal job. I mean, the look of the game, the first game was breathtaking. This second game just looks astonishing. It's an absolutely astonishing look. Story-wise, this is a very interesting story. She's going, what do they call themselves? The
Yotei 6?
The Yotei 6, the Sinister 6 or somewhere. Like, they stole my whole flow. But yeah, this game looks phenomenal. The story looks like this is going to be fun. The different understandings of combat are just revolutionized over the first game, and that's saying something. That is saying a lot. So looks like a lot of time has been put into this game. I can't wait to check this out. I'm like itching to check this out. Comes right out around my birthday, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, October 2nd. Just based on look, it feels like this is going to be the challenger that Expedition 33 faces for Game of the Year.
Yes. This might take it just off.
It
this
might.
look.
It might. I mean, Expedition 33 is special, but yeah, this game is going to be something else. They revolutionized, like you said, the combat system, where now it's not stance-based, it's weapons-based.
Right.
So you switch between a spear, a katana, dual-wielding swords, or a long odachi longsword, basically. Right. And that's your stance mechanic from the first game. Like, certain weapons are more effective against different enemies. She's got a bunch of other stuff, and then just cinematically, and cool. So they once again not teamed up with, but they got the blessing of the estate of Akira Kurosawa to bring back Kurosawa mode, which is black and white, Japanese, no subtitles, all that stuff. They've also teamed up with other Japanese directors to kind of incorporate their styles into the camera work of the game, the music of the game, and I just think that's super cool. And obviously, like you said, the game looks beautiful. I mean, the first Ghost kind of pushed the PlayStation 4 to its limits, so much so that when the PlayStation 5 version came out, it ran so seamlessly, because that felt like a game that was supposed to be on the PlayStation 5. Yes. And this game feels like it's going to do much of the same for the PlayStation 5, kind of push it to its limits. Right. There's a seamless transition system where you can voluntarily visit Atsu's past.
I'm very curious to know how thematically and how narratively they're going to weave that. That's what I'm really looking forward to.
Because like, how much could you do as a child version of the character?
That's the point. Like, I wonder if like she's going to learn certain abilities through her childhood as well too, the same way that Jin did. Like, I wouldn't be surprised at that. So
I mean, I've never seen a game do something like that before, where you can just freely visit the past or another timeline or something like that, just like on a whim, like almost like a fast travel, like you press a button and boom, you're in the past. Travel. Yeah, they've kind of revolutionized the travel system where you have your map. You can visit cartographers who kind of give you landmarks to go to, or you can literally like pull out a spyglass and look at a landmark and mark it, and then it
takes you
like the pin drops, and you just go.
Like it turns cinematic, and you just
they've. The kind of system of traditional open world games where you have to like go town to town and visit the merchants, like they've seemingly streamlined that with this wolf pack system.
I'm a fan of that. They come to you instead of you going to them.
Where you can you open up a menu that shows you like everyone you've met that has like whether they have certain gear to sell or certain techniques to send or teach you. You can freely set up a campsite, and those characters will come visit your campsite. And
it's like you build a wolf pack. Yeah. Is the technical term in the game for it.
And they can sell you stuff if they're a merchant, or they can teach you stuff or give you side quests. I think that's really cool. Yeah. As someone that is quickly aging himself out of pure open world games, I kind of like a little more on the rails kind of guiding me places. So I think, they keep that open world mechanic. They have a bunch of other stuff that you can do. There's a bounty system in this game that I think is really cool.
Yeah. It keeps you on your toes, much like Red Dead Redemption 2.
I was gonna say it's like Red Dead. Yeah, kind of like Red Dead in the sense that like Atsu, and this was they kind of mentioned it in the trailer that the world will react to her as she starts gaining notoriety. And that was like one of my things that goes to Tsushima. Like I never really felt that outside of like the main missions with Jin, where like it didn't feel like the living world was reacting to his kind of becoming the ghost, whereas this feels like that's course correcting that, and I think is really cool. And then obviously like you get bounties put on you that people can exploit, and then you can also do bounty hunts that look like kind of like in the first game they have like those cinematic missions where like they weren't bounties, I forget what they were called, like those special duels and stuff.
Like they're the ones you stumble upon. There was one in the first game that I always think about. It was like in those purple flowers that
is it the one with the lightning storm?
It might have been because
I always remember the one with the light where you fight the guy with the it's so you can learn like the legendary techniques. Yes. And you fight the one guy in the rainstorm. Yeah. And he ends up getting struck by lightning at the end. Like you like fight him at nighttime, like in a rainstorm. That one always sticks with me. So yeah, I'm super looking forward to this game. It feels like Ghost of Tsushima came out in 2020.
Feels like so long ago.
It is. Yeah,
I guess it is 5 years ago.
Yeah. Ghost of Tsushima is part of that kind of legendary 2020 gaming run. So, but 5 years is not bad development time, I don't think. And they just look like they've taken everything from the first game and just enhanced it.
Yeah.
So, very, very much looking forward to that.
Me too.
And then that's pretty much it as far as we got news. The Fantastic Four kind of upswing is in full effect.
Yeah, the London premiere is going on.
Clips coming left to right and center.
Yeah, they're on the fast track. And I think marketing-wise, going against Superman, which we'll talk about, I hate to say it, going against, but, at the end of the day, it's Disney versus Warner Brothers. One business is trying to outdo the other business. Maybe try to utilize each other the Barbenheimer way. But at the end of the day, they're really trying to ramp up this marketing. I think what's really driving this marketing campaign is that cast. There's a reason why Pedro Pascal was Reed Richards. We talked about it. You made the best point about it. When he was cast, we were we might have had questions about the casting as well, too, because, the traditional Reed Richards look at the time, which still, he looks like Reed Richards.
He really does.
Especially older Reed Richards, which is good. But I think it was more wait, do you just go get the best actor available in the world? And they just did. They just got the best. Everything worked out the way it was supposed to, and, they're really utilizing him as the front man, and then this team ensemble as well, too. They look so cohesive together. They actually feel like the family. Because, obviously, I forget the actor's name that passed away, that played Dr. Doom in the original Fantastic Four films.
Oh, Julian McMahon.
Yeah, Julian McMahon. I just watched those movies because, obviously, I was sad that he passed away, so
yes.
I watched that Fantastic Four and Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer, and, I'm looking at the family dynamic. I love Ewan Griffin. I had, such a nostalgia for Ewan Griffin as Reed Richards, but, this film specifically, that family dynamic, an actual family, this is my end-all, be-all, no matter what. It felt very of its time, those two movies, but this feels like that family aspect is driving hard, and I think Shackman understands that. I think Shackman's one of the best drama in the comic book realm. He's one of the best drama directors in there as well, too. So I'm really excited to see what this is going to look like. Yeah,
me too. Like I said, it's ramping up. Anything you hear from the cast, they seem to get it. The one quote from Pedro Pascal this last couple days I thought was, if there was any doubts that he understood the character, he says, talking about Sue Storm, that Sue Storm is really the leader and it's a coexistence, and without her and without the team, he is nothing and he would be devoured by his own brain. And I'm like, there it is.
Yeah, and the Maker is the tell of that. The Maker from the Ultimate Universe, that's what he would turn into.
Yeah, so it sounds like everyone's on board. I think everyone understands the assignment, and I'm really looking forward to it. And then, to your point, yes, Julian McMahon did pass away at the age of 56 due to a private battle with cancer. Obviously, most notable for his role as Dr. Doom in the early Fantastic Four movies.
Yep.
And we know him as well as one of the main villains on the Runaways.
Yeah.
Which I thought he was really great.
Yeah, and you talked about the nostalgia pieces. It's funny, looking back, obviously it's so sad that he passed away. He was such, this figure in my childhood. He's one of the big villainous characters of my childhood. He just was, as Dr. Doom. So it's so sad that he passed away. And so young. He was 36 when he was playing Dr. Doom. He was 36 and 38 when he played Dr. Doom in those films. So he's gone way too soon. It's so sad. That one really got me. That one actually really got me. It just was it just came out of left field, and it was super sad to see.
Yeah, he was still working.
Yeah, he was
still
working. Yep.
Up through he was in the show The Residents, which is currently out. And yeah, he was still working, still acting. So yeah. That news came out of left field. Super unfortunate. But just moving on to Superman now. That's all we really got.
Yep.
Superman has released. It's out as of, got some Thursday screenings. That's when we're recording this. So the weekend is here. So obviously we don't have any box office numbers for you. But it's tracking to do very, very well. Based on kind of the screenings that you and I saw.
Yep.
And then critically reception, being reviewed incredibly well by fans on 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, 83% among critics, which for a superhero movie is to be expected, I think,
Sure.
to be in like that kind of low, high 70s, low 80s, unless you have a genre-breaking film like The Dark Knight, obviously.
Right.
Something like that would obviously catch the eyes of movie critics. Like, so I think 83% is perfectly fine for this movie.
Yeah, I mean, how many movies are in the in the mid to high 70s, like early 80s that, many herald as like critically acclaimed films.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't really put too much stake. The audience score I like to put a little bit more stake into, because that's the general. That's like when you like the whole adage, like you give your film away. That's you giving your film away. It's truthfully the reflection of the audience.
unless it's being review bombed.
Yeah, correct. Like Ironheart was.
Right.
Weirdos. Anyway,
we'll probably cap our Ironheart thoughts at the end of this too.
Yeah,
we did the last three.
Wow.
We did the first three last week. We'll do the last three this week.
Yeah, I think we need to talk about Ironheart. We need to talk about the thing.
Just for reference, I guess, of other things, it shares the same Rotten Tomatoes score critically as F1. It's right around the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts had an 88%. Obviously, it's not touching like Sinners, but again, Sinners is special.
Sinners is probably the best film of this year.
Yeah. Slightly above Mission Impossible. So that's what you're talking critically, how the critics view this movie. But you didn't come here to think to find out what the critics thought. You came here to find out what we thought of it.
Right.
And yeah, I mean, I guess we could just start, non-spoiler wise, just to your point about David Corenswet earlier, like he just
let's focus.
Yeah, let's focus on him. Yeah.
There was a point I made in that, obviously for him, it's going to be the Christopher Reeves comparison. And I made the point that I think it's beyond that. I think it's not the fact that he is, Christopher Reeve reincarnate. I think it's more important that now that it's David Corenswet. I think him of itself, he was phenomenal as Superman. And you get it immediately how great he is as Superman and how great he is as Clark Kent. I mean, let's focus on kind of the scene at the beginning of the official trailer where him and Lois are kind of in the apartment doing the interview back and forth. I mean, his refusal to curse, his little mannerisms, like his swap in between Superman and Clark Kent in real time is it's something to be. I've never seen anything like that. It's something I've never seen Henry Cavill do, not for lack of his own, that's just not the way that the character was written in Man of Steel, but it's the flip that he can turn on and off. I think it's quite incredible. And his stature and his build is very it's very broad and grand. He's just he encompasses everything that is Superman and that is Clark Kent.
Yeah, and what I liked about his portrayal of Superman especially is this is certainly not an origin story, but you can tell just the way he talks, the way he acts, he's still finding out who Superman is. He's trying to figure out who he wants Superman to be and who he thinks Superman should be. And those are two, at least early on in the movie, those are two different things, which I think a lot of people might miss. I think people are misinterpreting it. 'Cause I saw a lot of people being concerned online. They're like, "Oh, the Superman, he seems kind of arrogant," and I'm like, "It's not arrogance. It's he's
trying to find his confidence.
He's trying to find his confidence, and he's trying to he has these other superheroes that are in this world that he looks at, and he's like, do I need to be more like them?" He's still trying to find his place. He's still trying to find his voice as a hero.
And I think it's important in the early parts of the movies they kind of address the social media aspects. This is a real world 2025 Superman.
And in that interview clip that you talked about, he says, or Lois kind of teases him on "Oh, you're referring to yourself in the third person now?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's just something I'm trying out. It's kind of stupid, isn't it?" You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's still I think it's. Again, I think it's a pretty understated theme in the movie that maybe a lot of people might miss, is that he's still trying to find himself and he's still trying to figure out what he wants to be and what he thinks he should be. And those start out as two different things, and then by the end of the movie, because I think a lot of the complaints I've seen about this movie too is it doesn't feel like he goes on much of an arc.
I disagree with the fact that he didn't.
But I think he does. I think by the end, like I said to that point, I think he finds that who he thinks he should be and who he wants to be, may start as different. By the time he gets to the end of the movie, I think they're one and the same.
Yes.
Like, I think he finds it by the end of the movie, and that's it's an origin story, but it's not at the same time. Like, it's an origin almost for the idea of Superman,
right,
more than the actual person, which I think is pretty neat.
No, it's well done. I think, and it goes to James Gunn's character work and the nuance, because people want this overbearing, like, I started as a bad person that did bad things, but now I'm a good person. No, he was always a good person. The art came out of self-contention of my self-purpose and my self-worth a little bit. He was probably questioning his worth to the world, and, his unwavering need to help people is this important. Like, I need to make sure this is a priority. They talk about it. That's the true pop, like the true, punk rock of it is like, I'm a good person to be a good person. I'm not moving on this. I refuse to move. The world might move, but I will. I think his contention is he needed to grow up a little bit. I think he was a bit childish in the way that, he thought that, to Lois's point, like, you can enter any place, but, like, to his contention point, like, people were going to die. Like, I don't care. I do not care. And I think it needed to be an internal piece about, obviously we have to talk about the origin story itself, because there's a massive change in the origin story.
Yeah. And then to that point too, like, to him needing to grow up a little bit, like, it's like sometimes, and this is a lesson that I think he learns throughout the movie, and that we also need to learn in real life, is like, sometimes being a good person isn't a good enough reason to do certain things.
Right.
And that's kind of what I think what Lois was trying to drive into his head, that, like, your intentions might be in the right place, but you got to also consider the irreparable harm you might be doing, because, I don't want to step on the ending too much, but what happens when he's not there to do the right thing? Like, he can't be everywhere at once. And that's, it's a classic kind of Superman. It's a classic Superman conundrum to put the character in, is you have these two kind of crises happening at the same time, and he can't be both places at once. So then what happens?
Right.
And that's where I think we're going to talk about, the Justice Gang in a little bit, I guess, probably in the more spoiler-filled section, but that's where you see his imprint of doing the right thing coming from, not just from him.
Right.
Like, the kind of mark he's left on people is exemplified and embodied through that group by the end of the movie, which I think, again, was really, really cool.
Right. I think he's so special in the way that he carries himself. I think he carries himself with such this, like, irrefutable good, and not just him. It appears that David Corenswet, to all intents and purposes, as well too. I think that's super impressive. Like, it was just the way that he moved in between the scenes. Like, you can really see that that's a trained actor as well too. The way he moves in between the scenes, the way that he interacts, everybody bounces off of him quite well as well too. My favorite character that he had interactions with was Mr. Terrific as well too, which we have to talk about Eddie Gathegi as Mr. Terrific, because he was phenomenal as Mr. Terrific. I mean, I'm just going to spoil the heat check performance of this film. It's Mr. Terrific.
I would agree.
So good. He was so good.
Yeah, he's a scene stealer, classic scene stealer, in this movie.
So, I mean, looking elsewhere, Rachel Brosnahan as Lois Lane. I mean, just phenomenal casting. My favorite piece about her is obviously Lois Lane. Canon wise, is very. It's not just about her being after the story. She's after the truth, and like, she's truthfully the truth, justice, and better tomorrow, whatever way you want to say it. She is the truth piece. Like, she's the truth for the betterment of mankind. She's not the truth for, I love, there's a bit in the movie where, like, a major crisis is happening, but they're having, like, a board meeting about how to, how to break this story to make sure, everybody knows the truth. Like, I never felt more Lois Lane than I did in that moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I said it to you when we left. My lone complaint about her was I wish there was more of her.
Yeah. Yep. This movie probably could have been 20 minutes longer.
I think we really could have.
I think, because we're not naive. Like, 2-hour run times give you more plays in a movie theater, which makes you more money year over, like, in the long run. Sure. But, man, what I would have killed for 20 more minutes.
Yeah, and I think you could have all backfilled that with Lois Lane stuff. I think she was
more
great.
Clark Kent in the Daily Planet stuff. I wanted to see more of, like, the full Daily Planet crew together. I feel like they cut some of that as well too.
Probably.
I think they definitely filmed more of the Daily Planet.
Yeah, because they have some pretty notable actors playing these Daily Planet people.
I don't think it's the last we're seeing of them, and I don't think it's just in a Superman movie either.
It would make total sense. Yeah, it would make total sense.
I wouldn't even go as far as to say, what if we got a Daily Planet show?
Like a newsroom type?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool.
If you can get Rachel Brosnahan to be in the, to lead, because obviously she would be the one that leads the show, and then you could just say Clark's on assignment. That's why he's not in the show. But I would love a Daily Planet.
That'd be fun. I'd really enjoy that.
Pretty cool.
And then, I mean, yeah, she's great. I love, she's in love with him, but she's not enamored by him, if that makes sense.
I think that's an incredible point. She's not head over heels for him. I think she loves it, and, much to her chagrin, probably, she loves his goodness, and I don't think she's willing to admit it yet. She does love his goodness, and I think she realizes that's the reason why she loves him, is because he is unwaveringly good. He refuses to be bad.
Yeah, it's a lot of what I admired about Elizabeth Tulloch's portrayal of Lois Lane too.
She challenges him.
Yes. Yeah. Challenges him directly.
And she knows he's the strongest being on the planet. She doesn't care.
Breaks him in that interview sequence. Like, she really dissects him, and kind of gets him to rethink his worldview, right. To be honest. And she doesn't do it out of a place of, anger or like to be mean. She's trying to, he's still kind of a kid, in a lot of ways. So she's trying to get him to see, like, hey man, you have a tremendous ideology, but you got to see how the world works, because the world is not a nice place.
No,
it's not. And that is embodied, I think, in Lex Luthor.
Before we get there, to his point though, that's his whole understanding. That's why, like, that's the punk rock of it. Like, he's basically telling her, like, I still don't really care. Like, I still honestly don't care.
Yeah.
Like, the world can, and again, that's, once we get into spoilers, we'll talk about the big change for this, like, lore-wise for this movie that really dictated a lot of the narrative for it. Really pulled from Superman Birthright, or not Superman Birthright. Right? It was Superman Birthright.
Yeah.
Where they pulled most of it from there, but I think for him, he just doesn't care. That's his, like, he's stubborn in that way. Like, his goodness makes him stubborn, and I quite appreciate that. Nicholas Hoult as Lex Luthor might be one of my favorite villains I've ever seen on screen. Non-hyperbolic statement, he's probably in my top 3 favorite movie villains, like, comic book movie villains that I've seen. Like, I'm really trying to shoot down the list of everybody. Like, Thanos is up there, like, is obviously in that top 3. Just in the full landscape of all the comic book movies that I've seen, Heath Ledger's Joker. I mean,
Ledger is probably unabashedly,
the best.
That's unassailable, I feel like, at this point.
I think Thanos gets there as well, too.
I mean, what do you do with Loki?
It's tough. I don't even want to count him. I feel like it's a little tougher.
Because I guess you would have to look at him as portrayed as a villain, which would be Thor 1, Thor 2, and Avengers.
Right.
And then he kind of starts veering into anti-hero.
And Thor 2, honestly.
Yeah. He starts veering into, like, anti-hero, heroic status.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to think of all the DCEU villains. I'm trying to think of pre-DCEU DC side of things. I'm trying to think of the Marvel side of things, non-Marvel. Like, his performance as Lex Luthor, like, it's real world informed. It's
very real world informed.
Very real world informed. He's unapologetically bad. Like, yes. He is actually a bad human being.
I really like that.
Like, he is a bad person but he's like, you can understand why people are right there in that room believing what he's saying.
It's not really a spoiler, but there's a scene where but Metropolis is at risk, and the people in his room are like, Lex, people are gonna die, and he goes, let them. Mm-hmm. They chose him, let him save them. Yeah. And, like, there it is. Like, yeah. He, in a twisted way, like, he's making his own case.
There's this scene at the end of the movie where he's talking about envy, and he's just like, that's the scene that truthfully got me, as, like, that's Lex Luthor. Like, and that's such a great performance. He was basically saying, like, people are trying to say that I'm not an envious person. He said, yes, I am, and that's why I'm going to save the human race from a being like this, because I envy him, because I have this disdain for all of his ideologies and that an alien being is able to walk into our planet and dictate everything.
And it's another reason why I love Mr. Terrific's inclusion in this movie, because there's a clear distinction, and Terrific even comments on it, where there's a distinction between like Luthor's science and Terrific science, where Luthor's science is like a chaotic, impulsive science.
Yeah.
It's still science and it's still brilliant, but Terrific makes the point that like his what he does is not thought out, even if it's brilliant.
Yeah.
Which is why I like Terrific, and Terrific even comments on his own science, where he talks about like, I'm not attached to people, like I don't do emotions, like I just do the science. Which I really like that parallel.
I mean, we can start with the Justice Gang, because I want to talk about Mr. Terrific, and then I want to talk about Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl. But I think we should focus on Mr. Terrific, because I think James Gunn structured this well, because I think he knows that Hawkgirl's gonna get her due in whatever the Justice League movie will be.
First of all, she's electric.
She
continues to be like Isabella Merced continues. It's the same thing as like, it's the same thing like when you see her in The Last of Us. When you see her in this, you're like, ooh,
yeah,
movie star.
Yeah. Like, she just turned 24 today. I think.
You look at her and you're just like,
you got it.
Yeah.
You got it. Yeah. And I think that was intentional. I think, he's really building this Justice League Unlimited lineup. And I mean, it's intentional that, John Stewart's going to be the main Green Lantern, because Hal Jordan's older. She's in this movie specifically. But to start with Mr. Terrific, I think Eddie Gathegi finally gets his due as like...
Sure.
But I think it's beyond that. Like, I think he was so intentional about not feeling anything about Mr. Terrific's origin, because I genuinely think that Mr. Terrific's going to get, like, his own either movie or TV show. I think Eddie Gathegi's going to get, like, his due. He's going to get a great director alongside of him. And then, like, because I think that's why he said he doesn't... I mean, the Mr. Terrific origin goes that his wife is basically killed in front. He's the third smartest man, and he's like an Olympic athlete. And he basically, he loses his wife right in front of him, and then he basically turns into Mr. Terrific. He uses his knowledge to kind of propel him as well, too. So I think for him, Eddie Gathegi's performance is so, like, brash, but it's also very calculated as well, too. Like, he's very, like, closed off.
Yeah.
But you also see the lifeblood of Superman even into him trickle in a little bit.
Well, that's the important part, is... I guess we'll talk about in spoilers, kind of like how that happens.
Right.
And why that happens to him specifically.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, and then, so, I mean, we're going to have to talk about him more in the spoiler stuff.
Yeah, he's so good. He's so, and you can tell, like, I feel like there's something, like, that they're really it's almost like James Gunn knew this character was going to pop off in this movie, and that they were going to get him ready to get his own thing, and, like, Mr. Terrific, like, this... in terms of DC Comics, this C-list character is going to get propelled into the A-list, much like Peacemaker.
Yeah. And then, we talked about Isabella Merced already. Again, just kind of, she's electric whenever she's
out of the three of them, she gets the least.
Yeah, she flies around, but,
but I think she's going to get the most down the line. Like, she's going to have the biggest payoff, probably, of the three
It's really the times where she doesn't have the helmet on, and she gets to speak, and you're like... You feel her. You feel it. You feel her presence.
She's
there.
rebellious. Like she's intentionally rebellious, which I quite appreciate. Like I can see her in a Justice League lineup, like contending against like Superman and Batman, and being like, I don't, I'm here, but I shouldn't take orders from you.
Yeah.
So I mean, she was great. Isabella Merced, like, put her in everything. Like that's somebody that's going to get all of David Corenswet, like. They are going to get all of the work over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
So you can add her into, like, that Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Austin Butler range of, like, cast them. Like, Isabella Merced, I think she's going to get there, too.
And then Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner.
Her outstanding to the point where what I really appreciate, and he had an interview where he was talking about lanterns. I think it's his injection into this film is going to be so important for lanterns because, like, I think this film was like, just get the Justice Gang there. And just, like, the Hall of Justice, like, just get them and just get that idea planted. But the three of them are going to cook, like, truthfully cook, even though Mr. Terrific really cooks in this film. Nathan Fillion is so, like, he's unabashedly annoying. And, like, that's lore accurate Guy
Yeah.
Gardner down to a T. Like, he doesn't listen to anybody.
No.
His opinions don't matter to him unless you agree with him.
Yeah.
He's chewing gum while he's saving people. Like, he's a jerk. Like, and that's literal perfect Guy Gardner.
He's a jerk, but he's not mean-spirited.
No, he's not. He's not.
He's still a Green Lantern at the end of the day.
Yes, and very much so. Man, I don't care what James Gunn said, where he's like, I didn't put it. Yes, you did. You set yourself up very well, my friend, in this film. He really did. Like, even the little lines, they're like, he's always talking about this oath, and that he can't do certain things. We don't know what he's ever talking. Like, no, that's, like, I think that's going to play off in Lanterns, because, let me get a 2-minute Lanterns tirade, because I think that show is going to be magically great. Obviously, Nathan Fillion is going to step into that show. You have Aaron Pierre as John Stewart. You have Kyle Chandler as Hal Jordan. I think the approach is going to be like, they are going to do the True Detective thing. I think they're going to do Necron. Like, the Black Lantern rings, that's going to be the conspiracy on Earth. It's like, they're going to be like, oh, shoot, the world's actually going to, like, the universe is actually about to be infected by the Black Lanterns. Like, we need to get on this ASAP. And Hal Jordan's like, now I got this new kid with me that I have to train as well, too. So I think Nathan Fillion's going to, and he kind of joked about it in an interview, but I think he was being serious, where, like, the Guardians of Oa are like, hey, can you do this thing that nobody should know about? And he's like, yeah, of course I will. Like, that's Guy Gardner down to a T.
Yep.
I think that's one of those casting where it's like, at first you were like, that's fun. Like, that's funny and fun. But now I'm like, now thinking, like, leveraging Lanterns over it now, like this R-rated television show about, I think, the greatest Green Lantern run of all time, maybe one of the greatest comic runs of all time, that I can't remember who wrote that run. That's escaping me. That wrote Stargirl. Why can't I remember Jeff Johns' name? That Jeff Johns wrote, like, they're really going to dip into, like, the dark ends of that run and what makes the Green Lantern lore so rich. And I think Nathan Fillion's the perfect counter, because, like, I don't think we've seen the other side of him. Like, the true, like, we've seen him juxtaposed to Superman. You haven't seen him juxtaposed to, like, an R-rated, like, I'm off the rails, like, type of Green Lantern show. So, I can't wait for Lanterns. That might be my number one most anticipated show for 2026. Especially after seeing this. Like, I think he got something truthfully great.
Yeah, I think he was great, and I love the, well, again, we'll talk about the end, but I love his little bit at the end. And then I guess we can't round out this non-spoiler review without talking about Crypto.
Man, the goodest boy. No, maybe not. But that's the point.
There's a reason that we'll talk about it.
Wow, I was not expecting that one bit.
But it makes sense.
Yes, it does. It does.
Once you get to it. I guess when we do the spoiler section, we could just lead with that.
Sure, and then we can maybe work our way backwards.
And then we'll just work our way through.
Yeah.
But that's a fun one.
Obviously, the Daily Planet crew, Jimmy Olsen.
Wendell Pierce continues his heaters.
He is fantastic. 4 first steps has the chance to do the funniest thing of all time. Just put Wendell Pierce in all the superhero movies this year.
He's so fun.
Oh, he's great.
He was fun in Captain America, and he's fun in this.
Not Captain, and
Thunderbolts. Yeah, Thunderbolts. Sorry.
Man, he was so good. I love him as Perry White. And again, that's why I think do like a small little show.
Yeah.
Get Rachel Brosnahan to be the lead in that show, just a few episodes, 1 season. Yeah, I mean, you could do multiple seasons, but it's just like a fun in between. So maybe get like a new hero in Metropolis that's like not Superman, that's trying to do stuff too. That would be fun. But this crew is great. Yeah, and I mean, I guess we can dive into spoilers, the plot.
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you want to just start with the two big cameos, and then we can work our way back? So, spoiler alert, full spoiler alert from now on. Yeah,
for Superman, if you have not seen the movie yet, don't listen to this bit.
Yeah,
because we're going to talk about probably everything that happens.
Right,
major wise.
Hey, Rob, is Superman the only Kryptonian on Earth?
No, he's not.
Because Supergirl's in this movie.
She recently returned.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason we find out Crypto is this chaotic puppy, does not listen,
mm-hmm.
Cannot be stopped, will not be stopped.
And again, the thing that I think really probably caught everybody's ears and eyes is just like, why doesn't Superman like Crypto? Like, shouldn't he obviously like when Crypto gets captured, like I think it, and like watching the end of the movie and then going, it's more of his just good nature over that's his dog. Yeah. Where he's like, where's the dog, Luthor? It's like, it's like it's almost like he made a commitment to keep that dog safe.
He did.
And boy, he did.
He mentions that it's a foster, which kind of is a line that kind of goes over your head if you're not really listening, because you're like, oh, like he adopted the dog or whatever. Like,
right.
You know, whatever. But yes, at the end of the movie, Superman's back in the Fortress of Solitude, and then this meteor crashes through, and the robot says, your cousin is back. Mm-hmm. And then we see Millie Alcock as Supergirl.
Yep.
And again, it's like the same thing when you see her, she just has the thing, right? It's the same thing I saw when I watched her in House of the Dragon. When you see her as Rhaenyra Targaryen, you're just a lord, you're magnetized by her. She comes in, she is brash, she is loud, she is drunk, she is foul, and I could not be more excited to see her again in her own movie, because yeah, she comes in, she's the one, that's Crypto's mom. And she is, obviously, if you guys don't know the development history of her film, it's going to be based on the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow story by Tom King.
You get a chance to read that comic. That comic is phenomenal. It's essentially like a purpose story. Like, what's my true purpose?
Which the backdrop is kind of in this small scene.
I mean, they even give her the coat that she's wearing in the beginning of the comic, which I thought was incredible. Like, that literally drops her, like, I think they're going to drop her, like, literally right in the, like, it even goes down to, like, she's partying on, like, planets with red suns so she can make sure she gets drunk. Like, she's, like, it's literally taking place, like, and the way James was talking about it, he said, we're going to do, like, a big sci-fi film for this, and I said, well, that's a cool approach. Who's directing this film as well? I think the director of, there's something that director did that he's notable for that I can't wait to see.
It's Craig Gillespie.
Right, yep.
Who has done...
He did something. He did a few things, I think.
He did Fright Night. He did Cruella.
Yeah, he did Cruella.
And yeah, I mean, yeah, she comes... So, small backdrop on the Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow story. It's basically, it's
True Grit.
Has been on Earth now. Her whole purpose was to protect Clark, and she figures out he doesn't need it. So she's like, what am I doing here? Mm-hmm.
Not only does she not need it, the world's, like, enamored by Superman. Like, that's Superman. Like, that's the biggest superhero on the planet. Like, I don't need to do anything.
She has all the trauma of Krypton exploding.
I think they're really going to focus on that as well. And it's such an interesting point. Like, she has all the trauma of Krypton being destroyed. She understood it. She was there. She was a teenager. She knew exactly what was happening. So basically she just goes planet hopping. She gets to one planet and this little girl's like, hey, this guy killed my dad. Can you help me track him down? And she's just like, no, no, I won't. Like, why would I ever do this? And then, events happen and then she kind of just teams up and is on board. And it's like it's a true story about, trauma, about, self-discovery and self-worth and purpose. And I think it's like, it's a Tom King special. It's the same thing he did with Mr. Miracle. The absolutely incredible comic. Probably my favorite comic I've ever read. So, Tom King helped write this as well too, which I think is really awesome. So, Millie Alcock, she looks like you want to think like about feel like a character feels like, and it's such a great counter to David Corenswet.
Yeah,
because he's such like this like just goodness for goodness sake. What's the line that she tells him at the end?
Oh, I can't remember.
Thanks for watching my dog, B.
Yeah.
She's hilarious. I can't wait for that movie.
She's like a frat girl.
Exactly, yeah. She's like, she doesn't care about anything. She's just getting drunk, planet hopping, but I think she's gonna try to find true purpose. I think this movie's gonna be like I don't even want to say like a hidden gem of the DCU, because this is the next movie.
Yeah. It's gonna be a really great, she's gonna come across as like a anti-hero kind of, and then kind of ascend to being Supergirl.
Yeah.
Which I think will be really fun.
Man, you know what I was thinking about just before we get into the next point, just about the broad scale DCU? Like, this is what Disney Plus needed to be doing. Like, this is the true leverage of your streaming service and your movie if you're going to do the TV show movie thing at the same time. And I'm thinking specifically about Lanterns. I'm thinking about Peacemaker. Like, obviously they got lucky because Peacemaker, like, I guess they probably didn't know about the crossover, like, that James Gunn was going to take it when Peacemaker was being filmed. Like,
right. Obviously
they put a DCEU cameo in Peacemaker, but I think they're understanding the true potential. Like, it shouldn't be like this thing that's so, like, you need to watch this thing to get to the thing. Like, you should be able to watch projects and just enjoy the projects, but, like, the payoff for you watching the project and then watching project to project is going to be great. So it's a true great leveraging of HBO Max. Newly minted, again, HBO Max.
Speaking of Peacemaker.
Yeah.
We do get a small cameo from John Cena in this movie.
Yeah.
Being interviewed about Superman.
by discount Tucker Carlson?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so basically, I mean, we're going to talk about it once we get into, like, the actual plot of this movie and how it pertains to Superman Birthright. Because I think narratively this is much more like Superman Birthright, and then canonically, or it's, you know, like, feel-wise, thematically, I should say, it's much more akin to All-Star Superman. But basically, there's, like, a Fox News interview where they're just like, that dang Superman.
He lied to us.
Yeah, he lied to us. I knew he was no good. Ain't that right, Peacemaker?
He calls him Chris. Yeah,
the theater freaked out when that cameo got such a like. Yeah. I got like a.
I got a better reaction than Supergirl.
Yeah, that was crazy. Like, people are really in on John Cena, and he said that's his favorite role that he's ever had was Peacemaker. I think he said
that makes sense. Yeah,
I love that character. Like, I really think that that character is probably going to be one of the more important characters in the DCU.
Yeah, we'll see how this season 2 shakes out. But yeah, that was a really fun moment. We do small cameo from what's his name as Maxwell Lord.
Oh yeah, Sean
Gunn. Yeah, Sean Gunn shows up as Maxwell Lord, who, by the way, again, it kind of goes understated. He's funding the Justice Gang.
Yes,
they're his crew.
Yeah, and he built. Like, you see Lord Tech devices all around. Jimmy's got a Lord Tech computer. In this universe, he seems like Steve Jobs in this universe.
Sure.
Versus,
that makes sense.
Lex Luthor is
Elon Musk /
and Jeff Bezos mixed into one.
Yeah. So that was a nice little Sean Gunn cameo at the end of the movie there. Mm-hmm. Okay. The big what is this movie about, and how does it propel our characters forward? So Superman, he feels like he has this purpose, given to him by his parents.
His birth parents.
Yeah, his birth parents. He has this message that plays in the Fortress of Solitude that basically lays out his mission statement, basically.
And who's playing his father?
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper is Jor-El in this universe.
That's fun.
No, it's not. Jor-El's a warmongering, horrible person, apparently, in this universe. Like Smallville.
Yeah.
Like Smallville. I mean, this one is much more, like, nefarious than Smallville was more like, you should just be in charge of the planet. Like, yeah, just be in charge of them because they can't help it. This one's like, pillage the entire Earth, murder anybody that won't fall in line, have as many wives as you need to repopulate and turn this place into New Krypton.
Yeah, that's the big...
Dang it, Bradley Cooper, we thought you were a good guy.
Yeah, so half of the message is go to Earth, do good, be awesome, be Superman.
We love you. Love you, son.
Love you, kid. But the second half of the message has always been... It was damaged. Mm-hmm. So Clark never heard the rest of it. And then, Lex Luthor and co. break into the Fortress of Solitude. They kidnap Crypto, and they extract the back half of the message through the engineer. She's able to decode and decrypt the rest of the message and recover the damaged data. And then Lex Luthor finds out what that is, and then he subsequently releases it to the world. And to your point, that is exactly what the message is. Mm-hmm. It is them basically saying, rule the Earth and create a new Krypton by any means necessary. Right. And then everyone's like, ooh.
Wow. Whoa, wait a minute. That's
then the world essentially turns on him.
Mm-hmm. In real time. That was a really cool piece and a really cool twist. I mean, obviously, like, it's a bit jarring at first because you're so in tuned with like Jor-El, like with Superman's parents being like these altruistic Kryptonians that foresaw the end of the world but wanted their son to survive so he can bring about a better tomorrow. Forget that, Russell Crowe. Forget that, Marlon Brando. No shot. My son's gonna rule this thing. Crazy. What a change. But it's one of those things that watching this movie front to back and understanding narratively works, because then it's like he is a good person to do good, to be good, no matter what. He thought that message. And man, you know what scene got me? The Pa Kent scene with him got me. Immediately got me. Because he basically fast forward in the movie, Clark, he gets his butt beat, he goes back.
Well, he surrenders.
Well, he surrenders, yeah, to the government, and then the government's like, hey, well, basically Rick Flag Sr.'s, Frank Grillo's in this movie is Rick Flag Sr., basically tells Superman, my bad, brother. I actually don't hate you the same way that everybody else hates you.
But we're also turning you over to Lex Luthor.
Yeah, my hands are tied, I have to turn you over. We're going private owned on this one. We're not going to hold you in a prison because we don't know how to handle you. So here's Lex Luthor's prison, and
it's an interdimensional prison.
This is the most comic booky movie I think I've ever seen.
I forgot to mention that up top. Yeah, that was my big point coming out of it. Is oftentimes these comic book movies fit themselves neatly into some type of genre, right? You can just throw one out there.
Ant-Man
is a heist movie.
Black Panther
is a drama action type.
Captain America Winter Soldier
is an espionage movie. Espionage action adventure movie. Like,
The Flash?
We don't talk about The Flash. Bad. It's a bad movie. That's its genre. Bad. But this movie...
The Batman?
It's a detective noir movie.
It's 7.
But this movie its genre is comic book. Its job is beach, for lack of a better word.
Not lifeguard.
Its genre is comic book. This movie is a comic book movie.
This movie is a comic book.
Yeah.
It's a real life, living, breathing comic book.
Lex Luthor just has a bridge to a pocket dimension.
And you're not...
Great.
And you don't question... They drop you immediately in. And it's fast. That first 30 minutes of the movie, it's fast. So... It's like, I know some of the nitpicks about this movie is the first 30 minutes are so like, they were like, people were calling it like messy, a bit like fast. And I think,
they drop you in and he's fighting the Hammer of Arabia.
And I think that's the point, is that like, because to James Gunn's point, he said, we've seen the Superman origin 1.3 trillion times. We already know what happens. And it's not just about the Superman origin. This world needs to feel like it's been lived in. That's why Superman's such an important piece to them. So... They drop you right in. Kryptonite just gets name dropped, and you're like, all right, cool. Interdimensional pocket reality's cool. Mr. Terrific has T-Sphere's cool. Green Lantern Corps out there. They're already on their 3rd Green Lantern. Cool. Like, we've already done all this stuff.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, Superman surrenders to the government. That's the president of the government you're talking to.
The president of the government.
He goes to jail. He goes to Lex jail, where Lex is keeping all his not even his arch nemesis.
Just keeping ex-girlfriends there?
Just people that have aggrieved him are there. He's got, which this is the thing that got the biggest laugh out of me, the monkeys.
Yeah. The rage bait monkeys.
That's a great bit.
It is. It's okay.
You can say what you want about James Gunn's humor. It doesn't land for everybody. That bit landed for me. I enjoyed the rage bait monkeys quite a bit.
Because he was talking about people to him. I love it.
Yeah, it was tremendous. Especially since like Superman's like, I don't read that social media, like they got like hashtags for him, and then you find out it's just a bunch of monkeys that are just angry.
Yeah,
it's great. And if you're mad at that, it's because you're one of those rage bait monkeys.
Right.
It's great.
But also in his prison, he has Anthony Carrigan's Metamorpho is in here.
Who we were led to believe was going to be a much bigger deal in this movie.
He was a pretty decent deal.
Like, in original, like, conceptually of this movie. Like, he was supposed to be, like, the guy. Like, the villain.
The villain?
I think so.
No.
It was originally, like, the before, like, the Lex Luthor thing got, like, confirmed. Like, Metamorpho was supposed to be, like, the antagonist.
Is this real?
Yeah. This was, like, conceptual, like, first concept of the movie.
I never heard that. I don't know if I didn't know. But Metamorpho, I think he's going to turn into a James Gunn fan favorite after this movie, and whatever the next project he'll be in is. He's great. He's great. I really feel Anthony Carrigan's pain, like the pain he must feel, like this monster that he thinks he is. Gods and monsters. Gods and monsters. Mm-hmm. He's got his son Joey.
Yeah.
But yeah, he basically makes kryptonite, and he's like, he tells Superman, like, don't do nothing crazy. And Superman's like, I'm gonna break out. I'm gonna save everybody. He's like, you can't. He's like, watch me do it.
Well, he can't. He can't at first. He wouldn't have. But then Lex Luthor interrogates one of Superman's. I mean, they're not even friends.
Well, I mean, to the point, like, Superman feels like a friend. Like, a guy, he gave me food once, and he's like, and again, this guy must solve, the quote-unquote bad that Superman did. And, like, he's like, that can't be Superman. He saved me. I know who Superman, and I know what Superman is. So, Lex Luthor kills. That got a big pop out of our theater, because we're like, again, to, like, the converse of the comic booky, like, this movie's got some scenes where you're like, oh, shoot. Like, yeah. And that was one of them where you're like, oh, shoot. Like,
and he just killed... Yeah, he kills that guy.
He basically plays Russian roulette, and he kills him on the second bullet, and then Lex Luthor's like, nah, shoot. Sucks. I'll go get Lois Lane next if you won't talk to me. And you're like, wow, this guy is evil.
But then that's the moment that breaks Metamorpho.
Mm-hmm. He's like, I didn't do anything. Like, I didn't step up. Like, I can do stuff, and I didn't do it. So, that's his hero origin story.
Yeah, he lets Superman heal. Superman breaks out, saves the baby. Mm-hmm. We get a fight in a proton river.
Yeah. This is a comic book.
Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Mr. Terrific and Lois Lane are trying to find Superman.
But he finds Crypto. He hates Crypto.
He does hate Crypto.
That dog, man.
The Mr. Terrific action sequence is tremendous.
Oh, that's probably
it's the Yondu thing.
Yeah.
The music gets loud. Things are flying all over the place. He took the Yondu sequence and just made it Mr. Terrific. It's so awesome.
It's so cool. So yeah, Anthony Carrigan, he's great. He's great as Metamorpho.
Yeah.
Really appreciated him as well too. I can't wait to see more of him as well.
He shows up again at the end of the final battle with the Justice Gang, which is a point I want to circle back to when we talk about like the war backdrop. Right. When we get into that plot point.
Right. So like we said, the big plot change is that the world kind of turns against Superman.
For a bit,
but he's unwavering. Like, he's unwavering good. Until the good old story, the pen is mightier than the sword. It's mightier than Lex Luthor.
Yes, it is.
Yep.
It is.
They got him. But they got him.
They got him. And then, I guess another mystery in this movie is the mystery of Ultraman. Yes. It's not much of a mystery.
No, I'm sorry.
We knew it.
It was never Henry Cavill in there.
No. It was always going to be a clone.
It was always going to be a clone of David Corenswet.
It was always going to be a clone.
You can tell by the way he was walking. That seems like a very over-exaggerated, like, Superman walk.
He had the mullet.
He did have the mullet, yeah. I do think that he's going to turn himself into Bizarro. I think that's exactly what's going to happen. Probably gets sucked into the black hole, goes to the Bizarroverse.
Oh, not the Bizarroverse.
You're the Bizarroverse from Superman and Lois.
No. That place was that was truly a Bizarroverse.
Yeah, it was.
The Earth was a cube.
Yep. I'm a superhero, Lois.
That man was angry.
He was.
And then he became Doomsday.
He did become Doomsday. What an arc.
Amazing.
How did a Doomsday on a slightly higher to mid-budget television show look infinitely better than the big action blockbuster Doomsday?
That Doomsday had heart.
No, it didn't. He got his heart stabbed.
Remember when Superman pushed him into the sun? And they had like a moment? Yeah. Yeah. That show is special.
I don't
care what anyone says.
That last episode, man.
They got me feeling bad for Doomsday at the end of that show. He pushed him into the sun. Doomsday did the Kevin Costner.
Yeah. Let me go. I'm not your enemy, Clark.
This movie had absolutely not one singular tornado in it.
Yeah, no tornadoes in this movie.
No tornadoes sucking up Pa Kent?
No.
0 out of 10.
No. Speaking of Pa Kent, man.
That was good stuff.
Man, I love Ma Kent. How she's just like... I love how they're older. I don't know that that's like a little piece that I really appreciated. Like, they were like definitively older. Like, they out-aged because obviously he doesn't age as fast. So, like, they were this older couple.
Yeah.
They were like...
It was cute.
He said, Clark, I saw you on the news, Clark. Doing good out there.
That was cute. I did like I like them. They're not my favorite Ma and Pa Kent, but they were fun. They were fun.
Who's your favorite Ma and Pa Kent?
I mean, we haven't seen the. I mean, the Smallville ones.
Yeah. Fair.
But they're cute. I like that. I like them, and I like that scene with him and Pa Kent.
Man, Pa Kent the big softy.
Kevin Costner could never.
No, he couldn't. Man. So basically, that scene, that's the scene that got me. That's when we talk about the most emotional moment, I think it's this scene.
Because Superman's got nowhere to go.
Yes.
He's got nowhere to go. The world's turned against him. The Justice Gang won't help him.
No.
So he goes back. He's weak from everything that's just transpired. So they take him, Lois takes him back to Kansas.
And basically, he's healing from the kryptonite poisoning because they said, Metamorpho's like, why isn't he, starts panicking, he's like, why isn't he healing? He's like, because he has kryptonite poisoning now. Like, it's in his bloodstream. Like, he needs to get into the sun and he needs to heal. And basically, Pa Kent says, the fact that you thought the rest of that message was about you coming to Earth to save Earth tells me everything I need to know about you and why you're the most incredible person ever. Yep. And he says, your choices, your actions, that's what makes you, you. And I couldn't be more proud of you.
Yep.
And I was in the theater like...
and that's the speech that, again, to my point that I said up top about the theme of and the arc that he goes on, the difference, what he perceives is supposed to be a difference between who he should be and who he thinks he should be. These things have merged. Right. Because now it's irrelevant. Mm-hmm. Like, the message from his parents becomes irrelevant. Yeah. Because it's not... Because he always thought... I mean, he was a good person, but he always thought he needed to be a hero because of them. Right. Because of their message. Right. But now he realizes, no, I need to be a hero and I can be a hero because... It's the right thing to do. And it's me. Yeah. It's not what my parents imparted on me. It's who I am. Yeah. So the rest of... That's why the end of the movie is so powerful when the robots ask him, do you want to play the message from your parents? And he says,
it was yes. The Guardians 3 ending again.
Yeah, it was.
The same feeling.
Of course it was. But... it works because that's thematically what happens is he's no longer differentiating who he thinks he should be versus who he wants to be. Those two people are the same now. Right. And it's instigated by the Pa Kent speech, which I think is great. Yeah. And it's, his kind of recall to action, as it were. Because in the backdrop of this whole movie is this conflict between these two fictional nations.
These two very fictional nations of Baravia and Jaunpur. Very fictional conflict going on in the Middle East.
Yeah, that...
It is an unrealistic fictional conflict that's definitely not thinking about real-world implications.
Not one bit. Not one bit. So these two nations...
One nation has all this...
military power.
That was given to them.
Yes.
Weird.
Yeah.
And one nation who...
fighting to survive and fighting to be a people. It's Gaza and Israel.
Oh no, are we a political podcast now?
Look. James Gunn made it political. No, he didn't. It was always political. So yeah, we get the president of Baravia who's just the worst.
He's like a gross, glutton of a man.
Yep. Yep. He wants to conquer, what's the name of the other nation? Jaunpur, yes. At the behest, man.
Well, it's a little mix between Gaza and Israel and then Russia and Ukraine.
Stop me if you heard this before, but the most powerful man in America wants to make nice with the president of Baravia. And the most powerful man in America at this point is not the president. It's Lex Luthor. He wants to make nice with the president of Baravia because he wants a little piece of the action.
Yeah, he wants half to make his own country. Luxoria?
Great. Good. I'm glad that we're back to supervillains. All he needed was a laser on the moon, and he would have been the most comic book movie villain I think I've ever seen in my life. He wanted to name the country Luthoria? Yeah. Great. Good. I'm glad we're back to this. Yes. I'm telling you, all he needed was a laser on the moon. If the back half of the moon would have opened up and a giant laser would have came out, I've been like...
And you know what? In this universe, I wouldn't have batted an eye.
Then he would have been the greatest comic book. He would have passed Ledger at that point. And I have this laser on the moon, Superman. It's pointed at Kansas.
Gene Hackman's Luthor would have done that.
It's pointed at Smallville right now.
Smallville, how do you know who I am?
So yeah. So they have the Hammer of Bravia, who's not real. It's Ultraman, dressed up as the Hammer of Bravia. Great. Good. So yeah, that conflict is what Superman's first call to action. Because that's what he jumps in to stop that war. And Lois is like, can't do that. Superman's like, watch me.
Yeah, that's the whole point. He's like, watch me, I will. I don't care.
But then Lex Luthor's plans are unraveling. He doesn't want to admit that they're unraveling, which is another thing I really like about this Lex Luthor, is he's like, it's still fine. Everything's fine.
Yep.
We're just going to ramp up the crazy more.
I love, and again, it still keeps his sanity about how smart he is. Not his sanity about the world, because he's insane, but his actual mind is still peak moving. He said, Lex, in theory, you could open up the wormholes, but we're going to need the exact code at the exact time. He said, okay, we're good then. I don't care. Go about it. I need to kill Superman. I don't care who dies doing it.
Yeah. So that's what happens. He's like, reopen the thing. And they're like, it could tear up fabric in the thing.
And then it did happen. The fabrics were being torn.
Yeah. So big rift is opening up. It's heading towards Metropolis. We're evacuating the city. Evacuate the city, engage all defenses, and get this man a cape.
I cleaned your boots for you.
So Superman's got to fly into action, but before he can fly into action, he finds out that Baravia's prepping for another invasion of Jarhampur.
Well, it's the last siege. Like, this is the one that's going to set them over the edge. And
Baravia's like, that's it. We're coming in.
Yep.
We're coming in. We're taking your land.
Yeah.
Huh.
No, says the Justice Gang. Well, before that, they kind of say, and then,
Well, this is where I wanted to talk about the Justice Gang bit, because this is important.
Yeah. The kids are like, Superman. And the world and the Justice Gang kind of sees like this is beyond us.
Well, at this point, Terrific is already kind of on Superman's side, which is also important because he's the one that claims he doesn't have emotions, but he's the first one that kind of breaks rank. Where like even Hawkgirl, who I think understands where he's coming from, is like, no, like it's not our problem. Like we're not dealing with it. You're kind of on your own. Whereas like Terrific is like. All right, like I kind of see he's a good guy. Like we should help him,
right?
Or I should help him at least. He gives Lois his terrific plane. Great garage door bit.
Yeah,
it's a great bit. I really liked it. Yep. And again, just the unabashed comic bookiness of this, where like here it is. He's got a fucking UFO.
Yeah.
That can do anything.
It's almost like, you know what I was thinking about? Like, it's like the coma thing where, like, you wake somebody up from a coma from, like, 2005 and they wake up in 2018.
Sure.
Like, what if I told you that Spider-Man's going to have the Iron Spider suit and he's going to be... Valkyrie from the comics is going to be carrying him with the Infinity Gauntlet. And you're like, excuse me?
Right.
Like, it's the same thing where you're like... Superman and Lois Lane flew Mr. Terrific's T-strip to Smallville while Krypto plays with cows in the land. And you're like, all right, I'm in. Everything's fine. So Terrific's on board. And then, so now the Metropolis thing is happening. The conflict in Jarhampur is happening. So now, what does he do? Mm-hmm. Because Terrific on one end is like, I need you in Metropolis. Because the city is flying. Yeah. The city's not flying, but the city's splitting in half.
The city's splitting in half.
And the whole world's about to be sucked into a black hole, so...
But on the other end, this conflict in Bravia is happening, so Superman's like, and he chooses Metropolis. Mm-hmm. He chooses to save Metropolis because...
The Justice Gang, they're in.
They're successfully moved by Superman's willingness to just always be good. Mm-hmm. And they jump in. Mm-hmm. Hawkgirl and Green Lantern jump in, and Metamorpho jumps in.
Metamorpho, the newest member of the Justice Gang.
Is he cool?
Is it a cool name? See, that's a pretty cool name. Guy Gardner's like, you're on the team, man.
Yeah, because Guy Gardner says that Metamorpho is too ugly to be in the Justice Gang, and Metamorpho's like, Justice Gang? That's an awesome name. Guy Gardner's like, you're all right.
Yeah, you're all right, man.
Hawkgirl kills the president of Arabia.
Insane. That's probably going to come back to bite her in the wings.
because he one lecherous joke too many out of the president of Bravia.
Yep.
She comes. How do you feel about the screeching?
I'm all right with it. It's a bit jarring because like they have that super wide angle lens that they push really in against her face when she does, and you're like, oh.
But yeah, she swoops him up and then just he does like the old like. You know what he reminded me of? It reminded me of the X-Men 97 with Ball of Our Traps.
Oh, yeah.
When he was like, when like in the back of his mind, he's like, well, she's an X-Men.
Yeah,
like,
she's not going to drop me.
She's not going to drop me. And then, no! Yeah. She let me go!
Same sugar.
Same thing happens here. Like, the President of Bravia is like, you're like Justice Gang. Like, you're a hero. And she's like...
Oh, well, he talks about Superman. He's like, he'll never kill me. Superman doesn't kill. She's like, I'm not Superman.
I'm not Superman. I'm not him.
I can't, because I think they're a special... And again, because Batman doesn't kill, but Batman's ideologies are different than Superman's. See, Jane, I don't care what you say. You were trying to get a Justice League movie together. I am chomping at the bits for whatever this Justice League movie is going to look like.
I may not be him, but I am her. And she drops him dead.
I can't wait for the dynamic between all of them. Can't wait.
Yeah, because they're already kind of setting them up pretty different.
Yeah.
Superman also, he's saving squirrels.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
saving everybody that he can.
He's like, come on, man. Like,
yeah. The little kid, they're like, there's got to be a human.
Oh, when they're fighting the giant kaiju monster, and like the Justice Gang is just trying to neutralize it, regardless of like collateral damage, and Superman is basically flying around trying to prevent as much damage as possible. And he's like, come on, guys, like.
Yeah. Good golly, guys. That's my Superman.
But yeah, the Justice Gang staves off the Bravian military, thwarting Lex Luthor's plans. Thwarting my plans? Thwarting your plans. Meanwhile, the Daily Planet crew is on Terrific Ship getting the story ready.
Mm-hmm. I love that bit where, everybody's evacuating because the world's about to end. So everybody's evacuating Metropolis. And, like, I love when James Gunn does his, like, whip pans. Like, that was probably the best whip pan in the movie, where it's, like, each member of the crew got a little whip pan as they were going around.
Yeah.
It's like, Lane. It's Olsen.
Yeah. Like, no matter what happens, like, the story comes first. Jimmy Olsen gets all his intel from Eve Tessmacher, which is fun.
Well, the bit.
It's a fun bit, where Jimmy Olsen is just the ultimate playboy. Yeah. Basically.
But he's still like Jimmy Olsen.
He's just Jimmy Olsen, yeah.
It's not James Olsen from Superman.
No one can ever be James Olsen.
No, that's Jimmy Olsen. Every woman's like swooning over him, but like he just doesn't care. Like he just
he wants no part of it. Yeah, he wants no part of it. And yeah, so he's got a thing with Eve Tessmacher. And
no. Eve Tessmacher has a thing with him.
Sure.
They have like an affair behind Lex's back, but it's a one-handed affair because Jimmy does not like her.
No. So she ends up sending him a bunch of selfies, but it's backdropped as intel on Lex's plans. She's smarter than she looks. Mm-hmm. So that's what they use to bring Lex down. And then they save the city. Mm-hmm. And then Superman, one last confrontation with Lex. How did you like the this is my ideology and this is your ideology argument?
I actually quite loved it, even though I guess some people, I'm not supposed to. I loved it personally. And the reason I loved it? Because they could have stopped at the Superman bit, but I love Lex's punch.
I like that he got a retort.
Yes, I think that was the most important part of that speech.
It's heavy-handed.
It is, but it's the point. Like, it is the point. Like, this movie's unapologetic about itself. Like, yeah. I am going to be heavy-handed about it.
That's the comic book bit.
Yeah.
As these two characters are literally spouting out their ideologies at you.
Yeah.
Or at each other, I guess.
Right. I just love Lex's bounce back to be like, no, you...
I do like that he got a retort, because quite often it would be the hero being like, here's the thing about a thing or two, Lex. Mm-hmm. And then they just kind of like, and he gets handcuffed and gets thrown away. But I like that Lex...
He did get escorted, but he also got murked by Crypto before that.
He did. That was great. I enjoyed that. I don't know how that dog didn't kill him, but but I did like that Lex kind of got to bite back and be like, your ideology is ridiculous.
Yeah, and again, it feels more like we're going to see each other for a while. Like, I think the studio is going to be like, no, you as long as this movie makes $1 billion, you two are going to be playing these characters for a very long time.
And I like that Lex's retort wasn't necessarily like, your ideology is wrong. It's just, I'm right.
Yes. And, like,
I don't care that you're a good person.
Yeah, and, like, as long as you're here, we are on a collision course for the end of humanity, and I will not have that.
I will not have it.
I will not have it.
I really like that. I really like that. Back against the wall, his life is over, as he knows it, but he doesn't care.
Well, you know where this is going to, his arc, right?
He's getting the big suit.
He's going to be the president.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense for this world.
He's going to be the president of the United States. He'll find a way. He's going to go to jail for a little bit, and then you saw that Nicholas Holt's like, I want my Lex Luthor to interact with the Joker. Like, they're also probably going to do the Injustice League. This man, if they can get... Because he said this isn't going to end in, like, these big... Not necessarily. While I do think that's a lie, because I think the studio's like, hey, the team-up movies make $1 billion, so do a team-up movie. I just think
they're
like,
gonna.
They're gonna do Justice League. Like, he's literally building this whole roster to be Justice League Unlimited.
Yes. And he should just not pretend that... Of course you're gonna make a Justice League movie.
I truthfully think they should do the Injustice League against them in the first movie. Like, I don't see a better antagonist than, like, a triumphant of, like...
It's tough, man, because you gotta... That character, the Joker especially, needs some rehabilitation. As crazy as that sounds.
I see what you did there.
Because the Joker 2 thing just murdered that character.
Yeah, I mean...
On purpose.
What you have to ask now is... Because in this universe, it seems like this Batman has been around for, what?
A couple years.
I think probably 10 plus.
Oh, you're going on the proviso that it's not going to be Pattinson's
I don't think it will be. Like, and I was truthfully incumbent that it would be. I just think that Matt Reeves, like, that pocket universe is... Come on, man. That universe is so...
That would have been a good bit if Lex goes into the pocket dimension. He ends up in the Batman universe.
I think that'd be... Oh, if he ran into the Penguin...
He's like, oh.
He would have to run into Colin Farrell's Penguin. That would be the only way that's hilarious.
Whoops.
I truthfully think that... like, as cool as it would be, I think... I will die in the hell. I think that Pattinson and Corenswet would be the perfect counter to each other. Like, they would be the perfect, like, sides of the same coin. I do think it's going to be a different actor. I specifically think it's going to be Brandon Sklaner. They're going to just make him Batman because he looks exactly like Batman. As long as he shaves that mustache. He refuses to shave that mustache in any project he's in. But, yes, I do think that Batman's going to be around for probably 10 years because that Batman was in Creature Commandos.
True.
So, I think because the what you could do if it was Pattinson is say the Batman came out like 10 years like in the universe before that, but I still think you would have to cross a lot of I's and dot a lot of T's that the studio wouldn't. So my fear is that the Batman Part 2 is going to be the last Batman movie. I don't think we're going to get the Brave and the Bold until probably 2029, 2030 before we get that movie. Which I think in of itself is a mistake. I think you need to fast track that movie, but also I need Robert Pattinson back as Batman. I don't know, man. What do you think? Do you think that they're just going to make him Batman?
I think they should. Because I don't think... I understand Matt Reeves' perspective, but I also don't think he should be afraid of James Gunn to kind of... Obviously, James Gunn wouldn't direct a Batman movie, but I don't think Matt Reeves should be afraid of James Gunn kind of borrowing that version of Batman for a bit.
Andy Muschietti was at that premiere like a lot. Like he was like front and center at that premiere. So which makes me think they're going to move forward with him as the director.
Yeah. I just again to the point that you kind of made last week, like I don't think you want to mess around with confusing people. Not even confusing people, but just
right now, like especially since you're how hard did that marketing team work and that studio work and James work to like no, this isn't the DCEU anymore. Like, this is the DCU. We're right here. Like, we got a hopeful Superman. Like, we got some cool stuff on the way.
And you have two pretty much critically acclaimed films and two actors that pretty perfectly embody these two characters. I don't know why you would mess with that by getting another Batman actor.
And you don't need to change the Batman itself.
Not at all.
Obviously, the only thing you're going to need to do is, like, why can't Matt Reeves just direct the Batman? Because and to James Gunn's point, he said the directors are going to, it's not the universe that's going to dictate, the creative vision's going to dictate.
And I don't think there's inherently anything in that first Batman movie that forbids it from being part of this universe.
No, who says? Who says?
That's what I mean.
Just because it looks very filmic and looks very cinematic, like, so?
And it's a little bit grounded. But so is Batman.
Yes, Batman is comparatively, like, you play an Arkham game, like, you're not fighting giant kaijus in that Arkham game.
Yeah, and he went up against crime in the first movie.
Exactly.
He went up against the least superpowered person that is in his rogues gallery in the Riddler.
Yeah. And the Joker was still there in the whims. Like,
yeah.
You could still get Barry Keoghan to be the Joker if you want, like... So you don't need to cast another
And the whole
Joker.
thing with Batman and the Justice League is weird anyway, because he's not really in the Justice League.
But he's somehow the leader of the Justice League.
He's like a hired gun that they're just like,
hey, do you want to be
do you want in on this one? And he's like, nah. But then something happens and he's like, I'm here.
And I'm in charge.
Yeah.
And I'm the leader.
That's usually what happens. Like, the Justice League has to deal with like a thing and they're like, should we call Batman for this? And like, we'll give him a ring. And they call him up and he's like, not interested. I'm doing a thing. The Mr. Freeze broke out of Arkham again. And they're like, really, Mr. Freeze? And he's like, all right, fine. And then like, they're like, well, Batman's out. And then they turn around and Batman's there. And he's like, I thought about it.
Yeah. I mean, plausibly, you can say that this Batman was so far, and like, not so far in the past, but this Batman took, like, the Batman Part 1 took place years. Like,
yeah, why not?
Like,
it's a movie out of time.
Yeah, like, it is. It truthfully is. Like, that goes along with the noir feel to it. Like, that movie.
It's a movie out of time. It could have taken, right, to your point, it could have taken place 5 years before the Superman movie.
10 years, like, if you want. Like, and now, and like, you know what we always joke about, like, at the Batman premiere, like, his haircut and everything, like, we're like, oh, shoot, like, that looks exactly like, make him look like that as soon as he gets dropped into the DCU. But I truthfully think that his vision is understanding of what he wants his Batman to be is very much comic booky. So I think he does want it to be a actor, like somebody with them. And just, I'm fearful for what it's going to do. And I think that's important why they're calling it The Brave and the Bold and not... Well, they're going to end up calling it Batman Brave and the Bold, but... Man, I wonder what this is going to do to the Batman. Like, the Part 2 might be the last Batman movie we get.
Which would be a shame.
I agree. That needs to, at the very, very...
It should be a trilogy,
It should be a trilogy finished, and that's it.
Yeah. So we covered the war, we covered Lex Luthor, covered the Justice Gang. I think we pretty much covered this whole movie.
Yeah, it was. I really like. I had this feeling, and it was weird when the feeling came. It wasn't like at the end of the movie. It wasn't. There's just this frame. It's when he beats Ultraman, and it's in the end of the last trailer where he's like floating, and like he does like that not reverse float, but like he's floating, and he's looking down into like the abyss, and I'm like, that's Superman. Like, that's actually, like, I was smiling in the theater. Like, that, I was like, that's Superman. Like, they actually nailed it. And, like, my brain can only work in the forward. So I'm like, I was like, that frame, I don't know what that like, I felt like Paul Atreides, like, mind getting unlocked. Like, I don't know what that frame, like, unlocked. Like, seeing Aaron Pierre as Green Lantern with him. And then, like, seeing, you know, whoever they get to play the Flash, and like hopefully it's like Adria Arjona gets to play Wonder Woman, and like Brandon Sklaner playing Batman, and like this Justice League against like the Injustice League of Lex Luthor, and whoever they get to play the Joker, and you know, all these characters, and like how comic booky and unapologetically comic booky this movie is. Seeing that over, like I was thinking about it the other day, I was like, I think what James is going to do is he's only going to direct the event movies now. Like, the only time he will step back into the director chair, I think he's just going to write. Like, he's going to write and structure and advise, and then once the Justice League movie comes, he's going to direct that Justice League movie. I think he's going to be like, I need to narratively weave these little pieces, and I don't care what he says. I saw it in this movie. I saw his groundwork. He was very strategic about the ground. And you can tell I watched the whole premiere, the way they were talking about the characters, they were like, well, I don't know yet. And I was like, that's a very interesting way to put it. Like, I don't know where it's going yet. I don't know where my character's going yet, but I got this trust in James. I was like, he's got something he's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah,
he's got
absolutely.
this event thing. And I don't think it's going to be like a Justice League war, or like a, you know, I think he's going to do something interesting. And what do you want the team up to be? I actually have in my mind what I think the team-up movie should be.
So, I guess it would depend on, we're talking like Justice League, like the first Justice League movie you would have Superman, Wonder Woman, Batman, Flash, Green Lantern, Hawkgirl, and then that's it?
I think that because of this, and then you have to inform yourself, much like Infinity War was informed on Black Panther, I think Mr. Terrific's going to be a member of the Justice League. Because of how popular he's about to become.
Mm-hmm. I think Brainiac makes a lot of sense.
For a Justice League movie. I think they're going to make sure Brainiac's the villain of the second Superman movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to be like, because we've never seen Brainiac, like true form Brainiac yet in live action.
That's very true.
We got, obviously, Supergirl did Brainiac a little bit, but we haven't. Even Superman and Lois, I'm very surprised they didn't touch Brainiac.
They said they were going to. That would have been a season 5 was going to be Darkseid and then the introduction of Brainiac, I think.
I'm actually really surprised they didn't touch him. But again, I think that that'll be the lineup, and then I think the only change you might make is you might swap out Mr. Terrific, and then you know what they could do. He could say, I'm going to run 2 teams at the same time. I'm going to do the Justice League, and then I'm going to do the Justice Society, and Mr. Terrific's going to be in the Justice Society.
That makes a lot of sense. That makes a lot of sense, too. I mean, because I just don't think you would touch, like, a Darkseid or anything like that.
I think he's smart about that. Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, like, he knows where he came from, too. Like,
yes.
You don't do that in the first team-up movie. You save that. That's Darkseid. You save any sort of crisis for the last movie. I think that the perfect storyline to pull from in the first film the first team-up film you do Justice by Jim Krueger and Alex Ross. You have this like strategic plan, and what you can do is this is the reintroduction of Lex Luthor back into like the world fold, where he gets all the villains together and he's like, you know what? If the world's not going to take to me, then the villains might take to me, and he systematically tries to take out the Justice League. So like obviously like. If you haven't read Justice by Jim Krueger, it's an incredible book. And I mean, obviously, Alex Ross's art propels it into another stratosphere. But
yeah.
Basically, the Injustice League kind of like they band together and they like strategically take out each member of the Justice League. Like they get what do they do? I think Wonder Woman gets infected by Centaur blood by Cheetah. Like Cheetah dips her fingers in Centaur blood, and obviously she's too fast, so she infects Wonder Woman, so Wonder Woman's slowly dying. They trap Green Lantern on the other side of the or Sinestro traps Green Lantern on the other side of the universe. Black Manta takes Aquaman's baby and threatens to kill him, so it's like each member of the Justice League is being taken out one by one. And they basically, I think something happens to Batman. I can't remember what happens to Batman in that book, but like each member of the Justice League is like, I think that would be a perfect starter. You get villains against all the heroes as well, too, because maybe you do Aquaman in that lineup as well, too. I don't know if they don't want to touch Aquaman for a little bit.
They got to figure that out. They also got to figure out, and I mean, to be honest, like if James Gunn, if this is the look and feel, do the freaking blonde, cheesy King of Atlantis Aquaman. But don't make him a joke character.
No, you're gonna do Jeff Johns' New 52 Aquaman, because he still has the look. Like, he still has the look of, like, the cheesy Aquaman, but, like, Jeff Johns' Aquaman was, like, he was cool as heck. Like, he was,
he doesn't mess around.
No, he doesn't. He was an issue. So, I think you do that, like...
Is that the Aquaman that has one arm? With a fish hook for an arm?
No, but in Justice League Unlimited, he had the one arm. Like, I wonder if they'll do it. Like, any actor you want to play Aquaman, specifically?
I don't know. I'd have to think about an Aquaman casting.
You know who I'd always wanted to play Aquaman? Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh yeah.
I think he would be a phenomenal Aquaman.
I could see that. Is he too old?
I think he's too old now. What is he? He's approaching 50 now. I think he's getting up there a little bit.
Wyatt Russell? Wow,
Wyatt Russell's a pull.
I don't know if you'd do it.
No.
Because John Walker is kind of a big deal.
Yeah,
right now.
Especially now. Alexander Ludwig.
I could see that. I could absolutely see that.
Alexander Ludwig would be fun. Maybe we can make this an episode where, like, we now that like we do a post seeing Superman like our like DCU build, and now knowing some more projects are confirmed, some more actors are confirmed, like we can do another DCU like build.
Sure.
I think we should do it without Robert Pattinson. Like we should do true like this is going to be the new direction for everything. I think would be a fun episode.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you right now, I think Adria Jorna should play Wonder Woman. Like I think that might be one of the most layup lob castings that you've ever had. Especially after seeing her in Andor as well too.
Yeah. Yeah, that one's, and she was good in
Hitman.
Hitman. Yeah, she was great in that. Mm-hmm. She was also in Morbius.
She was in Morbius. She most definitely was in Morbius. The best. That's actually the best comic book movie.
It's the best movie she's been in.
Yeah. What has she been in? One movie?
Morbius, Andor.
No, don't do this.
It's close.
No, it's not.
It's close.
No, it's not.
It's not that close.
Man, I'm really excited for Lanterns. I think that show is going to be absolutely dynamite.
Yeah. I think so.
You want to talk about stealing an actor like before the other franchise got to him? Like they stole Aaron Pierre at the exact right time.
Well, wasn't he gonna be in Blade?
Yeah, he was going to be the villain in Blade.
Damn. Blade coming back to bite Marvel in the ass.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Much like a vampire would.
Come on, man. After Sinners came out, come on, man. Did you see? You saw Mahershala Ali was at a premiere the other day, and he was just like, "I'm waiting." Like I'm waiting. What did he say? You got to talk to them about that. I don't know what's going on. I was like, that should never happen.
I don't know what's going on. It's only been 5 years. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, they swiped him, huh?
Yeah.
So we're getting the Lantern show. We're getting Supergirl featuring Jason Momoa as Lobo.
Awesome.
Seeing her in this movie and knowing what he's gonna do with Lobo, it's gonna be really fun.
Oh, the two of them with each other?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That's gonna be a lot of fun.
100%. I can't wait to see. And again, this is getting me excited. Like, James, you're a liar. Because he was just like, I wasn't thinking about other projects. Yes, you were, jerk. Of course you were.
No, of course, you have to.
Of course you were.
When you're making a universe like this, you have to be thinking at least a little bit ahead.
The best thing he did was make the decision to make this universe lived in already. Because now I'm like, well, how does this fit here? Who knows who already? Also, they knew that he was Clark Kent, or at least Guy did.
It's implied that he told them, because Lois says, "Why does he trust everybody?"
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's implied that he just told them at some point.
Yeah,
while they were working together, probably.
Right.
Because the way he saw it, they don't have secret identities. Like they don't wear masks or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're just the Justice Gang. So he's like, "Yeah, I'm Clark."
Yeah, like, we're a team now, and they were like, "Well, you're not on the team." Guy said, "You're cut.
You're not cool enough.
You're cut. You're cut from the team."
So yeah, I think it's just that he told them.
I think besides Mr. Terrific's going to keep that glorious suit that he has, but
it's a great suit.
I think the point might be for Hawkgirl specifically to be like, you don't have to wear the. I think where I think she's going to get that in Peacemaker. She might get her like her actual suit.
Well, the other thing to her kind of story is, where's Carter Hall?
Mm-hmm. Where's Hawkman?
So we're going to find that out.
Mm-hmm. And I want to know if they're going to do the reincarnation thing.
Reincarnation, baby.
Come on, man. You can't quote Jonathan Majors anymore. It's been forbidden.
Yeah. Super curious about that.
He's got me. He got me.
Yeah.
I'm asking questions about things and want to know. They're going to do the love story between Jon Stewart and Hawkgirl, I heard.
That would make sense.
Carter Hall's somewhere. Mm-hmm. Jerk.
Look out, Hawkman. It's Vandal Savage. Oh, no.
How many times have you fought Vandal Savage? 207 times.
So many times.
How many times has he killed you? 207 times.
So many times.
You guys suck.
Bro is the Washington Generals.
Are you guys ever gonna beat the Harlem Globetrotters?
Nope. The one time they did beat him, Green Arrow and Flash helped.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't count.
No, it actually didn't count.
Let's tomorrow. That's fun. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have any closing thoughts on this Superman movie?
David Corenswet is Superman. He's not Chris Reeves reincarnate. He's just Superman Clark Kent. He is. every casting director in Hollywood right now is probably on the phone, like, getting ready to call this guy and be like, can you please be in our thing? He's an incredible actor for all intents and purposes. He seems like a great man.
He's got the thing that I feel like all great Superman actors have had. It's the thing that Christopher Reeve had. It's the thing that, even though the movie wasn't that great, I think Brandon Routh had it.
Earnestness.
Tyler Hoechlin has it in spades. Henry Cavill could have had it, I think.
I think they were inching at it heavily for him.
I think he could have had it. He just never...
He got killed in the second movie.
It's not his fault. But David Corenswet undoubtedly has it. He just looks like Superman. He looks, feels, embodies Superman. And I think that's the thing that I took away from this movie. I think this is, as far as just unabashedly unafraid of what it is and what it wants to be, it's right up there with Superman 78 as far as a Superman movie. Mm-hmm. Is it a better technically made movie than Man of Steel? Maybe.
Unfortunately, I shouldn't say unfortunately, but like Man of Steel is like the action sequences in that movie put together are like the visual effects are good. Like that movie.
So is it on a technical level Man of Steel? It's technically it's up there. I don't know if it's technically better than Man of Steel. I think it's a much more enjoyable movie. Man of Steel.
Oh, sure. You want to talk about the enjoyment of watching Superman fly around and
it just feels like Superman. Yes. In a way that Man of Steel has moments where you're like, oh, there he is.
Like the first flight in Man of Steel.
Yeah.
Give me more of that.
Yeah.
Give me more of that.
Like there's moments in Man of Steel where you're like, oh yeah, there he is. But this movie, he's Superman all the time. There's never a moment where I'm like, it doesn't really quite feel like Superman. Like even the scene, I know people bitched about him confronting Lex Luthor about crypto scene. And they're like, this is Superman? And I'm like, yeah. He's standing up for a dog. How much more Superman do you want him to be?
Yeah, I was going to say, have you never picked up a comic before? He's done
also,
stuff like
Christopher
that.
Reeve Superman does that exact same bit.
Yes, he does.
He breaks and it's... Hackman probably plays it a little bit better. He plays it a little bit better than Nicholas Hoult does. I don't know
you think so?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but when Reeve Superman breaks through the door and Hackman's Luthor goes, oh yeah, the door's open, come in. But the wet dog bit, that's a pretty good, like, that's the type of thing, like, people gotta realize, like, that scene is an homage to the 78 Superman scene. Like, if you go back, it's the same scene.
Right.
Superman breaks through the door, Lex is unperturbed, he's, like, unbothered, and they kind of have this just argument.
Where's the dog?
Where's the dog, Luthor? The dog! So I know people...
Superman, we finally meet.
People bitched about that scene, but, like, he still feels like Superman, even in that moment. Superman gets mad.
And that the ending makes that, like, the contextual nature of that scene even better, because it's like, that's not... He doesn't even really like crypto. Like, he just doesn't.
But, and I also like that that's not their... Like, that scene about crypto is not their last time that they face each other. Mm-hmm. Because, again, that first initial moment when he confronts Lex, he's still not really sure who he is. Mm. By the time he sees Lex again, and they have that kind of, like, idealistic duel, he knows who he is. That's why he comes at Lex much more calmly. Because he knows he's doing the right thing, and he knows what's right, and he can articulate that in a way that he wasn't able to earlier, because he was upset. He was upset on multiple fronts. He was upset that Lex broke into his house. Mm-hmm. He was upset that his dog got kidnapped. Or his cousin's dog got kidnapped. I think he was more afraid of Supergirl than he was of anything.
Sure.
In hindsight,
his older cousin.
In hindsight, I think, and she's a loose unit.
She is a loose unit.
You don't know what she's going to do.
No.
So I think he was more afraid of her than anything. But, so I just think he felt unabashedly like Superman. And I think that's the best compliment that I could give it. And I really enjoyed it. And it's what the movie needed to be to kind of... I mean, we talked about, leading up to this movie, the immense amount of pressure on this movie to deliver. Because if this movie didn't deliver, that's it.
Oh, it's over.
It's over for DC as
a whole, like...
As a movie-making business. Besides, you can probably get away with another Batman movie. And
it would have probably just been the Batman Part 2.
Yeah, and that would be it. But you're not getting any type of Wonder Woman movie for a while. You're certainly not seeing the Flash again after the last movie. You're not seeing any of these other, but now he did with this movie what he did with Guardians of the Galaxy, what he did with the Suicide Squad, and he relied on the titular character being the titular character. So obviously people are going to want to see Superman again, but now he's got people wondering about Mr. Terrific. He's got people wondering about Green Lantern. He's got people wondering about Supergirl. Like that's his gift as specifically a comic book movie director, is he finds ways to get people to care about these characters that usually don't get a lot of shine. Luckily, I mean, for him, he was able to do it with the entire Guardians of the Galaxy. Right. I think he was able to do it with the Suicide Squad, but Peacemaker was the only one that you really needed to do anything with.
Right.
I would have loved to see like Bloodsport come back or whatever.
Yeah.
But
who says he might not?
He might. But like I don't think they needed explicitly to do anything with like Ratcatcher or any of that other, like they all kind of got their own shine like in the movie, but like it was clear like Peacemaker was someone that clearly was going to be invested in. Harley Quinn was already established by that point, so but he just has this gift, man. He has this gift for and he even said it like leading up to the Superman movie itself. He wasn't going to do it originally because he didn't have it. He didn't have what he wanted. And then one day it just clicked. And, I think that's the mark of a really gifted writer is you don't want to write something or create something if you don't have a true idea for what you want it to be. I think Ryan Coogler's really good at this.
Apparently they were talking a few days ago.
Yeah. Like, especially,
do the Mr. Terrific movie. Do it.
Like, especially, like, Ryan Coogler, the reason his filmography is so versatile is because he's not going to write something unless he truly believes in it.
Yes. Yes.
Like, he wasn't going to write Black Panther 2 if he didn't have an idea for it. He wouldn't do Black Panther 3 if he didn't have an idea for it. We didn't even know if he was going to do Black Panther 3 until a few months ago when and by the grace of God, he's got Denzel Washington in the movie now. Right. So, which I'm sure is a lifetime dream for him to be able to work with Denzel. So, James Gunn's the same thing. Like, he wouldn't have done the Superman movie if he didn't have an idea for it. And seeing it, you see what the idea was. And now it's like, I forget who said it, but I think someone said, like, this could be DC's Iron Man.
That's saying something, too. And I want to reaffirm a point that I had made a long time ago where I said, people don't realize, like, that's Superman. Like, that's what I don't think people really get into because, in our brains, we've been so much of, like, Iron Man, Captain America, Thor. Like, those were not the A-listers of Marvel.
They were what they had left.
Yes, they were what they had left in the divorce. Like, that's Superman. And it's over that. It's over a rights issue to the characters, anything like that. Like, in the grand scheme of the world, the way the world's structured, like, if you go to a country and you hold up a Superman symbol, they're gonna know who that is. Like, that's the point. And, like, to the point about it being the Iron Man, like, the truthful nature of this is the fact that this movie works, and the movie works as an unapologetic comic book movie, is way more important than this just being a great movie. Like, he might have just, like, I'm not talking, like, we'll see. If this movie makes $1 billion, I'm going to reaffirm this point, but it's not just about this movie. If this movie hits $1 billion, and, like, they make The Brave and the Bold, they make a new Wonder Woman movie, like, they get to the Justice League, like, he saved that he didn't save just the DCU, he saved Warner Brothers as a whole because they were in a bad spot. Like, I know that probably the top exec said, like, you fail, like, not only are you not going to make more movies like this, you might not make movies ever again.
Yeah. And I mean, it goes to the point, like, Warner Brothers was so down bad that they were looking to The Rock to save DC. Just based on his aura, basically. Like, his presence and his incredible gift for marketing and his passion for business.
That doesn't equate to what the true power of movies are, though.
No.
And I think that's what James Gunn has. I think that's what David Corenswet
It's to The Rock's credit that he was able to get a movie like Black Adam, like, as much eyes as it got.
Right.
Like, that was sheer just him.
Oh, sure.
It wasn't because people were, like, really looking forward to the movie.
No.
It was literally The Rock. He bought out freaking Times Square for a Black Adam promo. Like, that guy, you can say what you want about him, but promotionally, like, he's one of the most marketable movie stars in the world.
Right.
And, like, Black Adam got made and got received the way it did and made as much money as it did solely because of him.
You think they'll bring him back as Black Adam in that universe?
No.
I think his pride is too heavy. And I think, this is going to be a funny statement. I think John Cena being the wrestler that turned actor in that universe is going to prevent him from going and doing that.
I would not be surprised if he finds a Dave Bautista in this universe.
Oh, 100. I think Dave Bautista, what you could do for a Batman movie, if you want to set it, if they're going to do the Brave and the Bold, you could obviously...
I mean, the Hugo Strange stuff is becoming overwhelming with Bautista.
Well, you saw him in Blade Runner 2049, right? Who did he look exactly like in that movie?
Yeah.
So
because I know, like, 15, 20 years ago, people would be like, Bane, but he's kind of aged himself out of the hulking brute character, and now he's like an actor. So I feel like he could play like a psychological type, Hugo Strange type character.
Yeah, I'm specifically thinking about Blade Runner 2049, the doctor that he played in that movie, I think, but also could get his hands dirty a little bit.
Yeah.
I'd really like to see that. I wonder... Again, I'm going to go on the half that we're going to do a different type of... We're going to do a DCU Batman. We're going to do Brave and the Bold. We're going to cast an actor as Robin, or as Damian Wayne, all the nine, right? Going off that logic, I feel like Hugo Strange would be fun. I mean, we can cap it off. Like, what other... give me a storyline or characters that you want to see in the DCU. Because I after seeing this movie, like, again, I just saw an incredible Superman movie, but, like... Knowing what we know about, like, what happened to, like, this is different than the feeling in 2008 for Iron Man, because that was like, wow, Marvel just got one, and then, like, they had a Nick Fury tease at the end. Like, this is more important. Like, this is different. It's not more important, I'd say, but it's a different type of more important. So,
I mean, this movie did for DC, it did for Warner Brothers, I think, or is doing for Warner Brothers what Iron Man did for Marvel as a company.
Right. It's the company aspect, I think, is the more important thing.
I mean, Iron Man did a whole lot of... I mean, Iron Man's probably the most consequential comic book movie of the 2000s.
Well, it informed literally the trajectory of modern media.
Yeah.
If I don't even care that that's a hyperbolic statement, I think that's a true statement that Iron Man literally changed the pop culture movie landscape of the world.
Yeah, Iron Man might be the most consequential movie of the 2000s in terms of what it did. But in terms of, like, studio-wise, like, Superman's could be saving Warner Brothers as a whole and reinvigorating. And, I think about this, like, I think about it like pro wrestling in the sense that, like, Marvel, I feel like, has gotten a little bit complacent because not that DC's a direct competitor, but thinking about when Marvel operated best was when the Snyder stuff was kind of around in the zeitgeist.
Oh, I want to even double down on that point. And I remember 2016, the two movies that were coming, and I remember, I will never forget, I was a senior in high school, me and my friends went to go see Batman vs. Superman, like, on the day it came out, and I'll never forget it because we were like, wow, like, DC's about to just take out Marvel, like, obviously, like, both trailers had been out at the same time. We're like, look at this gray-looking Marvel trailer. They have no sauce left. They have no flavor left. And then, like, look at the DCU. We got Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman. They look cool. They're acting cool. And you're like... Then, like, now I'm older and, like, looking back on it, I was like, it's lacking substance. Like, there was substance that was lacked. But then you look back at Civil War and you're like, the reason Civil War works is the groundwork they had built for 8 years up until that point.
And to be honest, like, no one's ever going to admit this, but I think the reason they beefed up Civil War the way they did to make it a quasi-Avengers movie was in response to Batman and Superman.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, if this Superman movie even pushes Marvel a little bit, I think that's a win for everybody.
Yes.
And I think, honestly, the timing worked out the way it did, but I think Fantastic Four is already kind of a response to Superman.
Right.
In a lot of ways. Because I think Kevin Feige and James Gunn are very good friends. Like, Kevin Feige knows the talent that James Gunn is. So him knowing that James Gunn was going to make a Superman movie, Kevin Feige was probably like, hey man, Fantastic Four is going to have to be stellar, and it's going to have to be different than the stuff we've done in the last 5 to 10 years.
Well, you can see, and again, we talked about the split of when we knew it was the Thunderbolts. The Thunderbolts, it was between Captain America and Thunderbolts. I think that's when Bob Iger stepped back into, like, you can see a definitive split. You can see it a little bit in the finished product of Ironheart, too, of, like, it feels like two different, like, you look back at Thor: Love and Thunder, you look at Ant-Man Quantumania, and you're like, look at the quality of those movies, and you're like, this just doesn't add up to the budgets that these movies are producing. Then you look at the Thunderbolts, you look at the practicality, you look at Fantastic Four, they're using miniatures, they have this incredible cast that they put together, like, and then you bring back the Russos, you bring back Robert Downey Jr. for Doomsday, like, I think James Gunn was understanding. I also, like, to your point, I think Kevin Feige also was like, hey man, like, we need to respond with a heater, because if James gets and you know how I felt it was when we walked into the screening and everybody had a Superman shirt on.
Yeah.
The aura in the place was off the charts. Like,
yeah.
I remember, like, there was a guy behind us that was just saying, I love that. Like, I like that's got to make Kevin Feige a little like, ugh, like, we need something, because, like, again, to my point that I loved making, like, that's Superman. Like, that is the most famous superhero to ever grace this planet. And if they can get that one right, who's to say they can't get the Wonder Woman movie right, then the Batman movie right, then the Justice League movie right? And who knows, in 10 years, we might be the ones that they're like, look at Marvel doing all this crap. At least we have the DCU to save us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, as far as other things that I'd want to see, like, I really want to see the Flash in this type of style, this type of universe.
Oh, imagine the cool stuff. I mean, you know who would be great at a Flash, but I never think he would do it? I think Edgar Wright would make an absolutely incredible Flash movie. I just think he would never, ever, ever do a comic book movie, especially after the Ant-Man thing, because they didn't let him make his Ant-Man movie that he wanted to make.
Sure.
Any storyline specifically you want to see?
Man, I'm trying to think. I would want to see I don't want to jump back up like the Batman tree, but I would want to see like a properly like comic booky type like I would want to see like an Arkham style Batman movie, where like he's just going up against whoever. Mm-hmm. Like, don't make it too grounded. Don't make it, let him do some comic booky shit.
You can kind of do like a comic booky version of Raid 2. You know the movie Raid?
Yeah.
I think I talked about this. Like, you trap Batman in Arkham, like the greater Arkham area for 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and he has to literally fight his way out. I think would be an absolutely insane movie.
Yeah, like give him all the stuff. Give him all the tools. Give him all the gadgets. Mm-hmm. Let Batman do some Batman shit.
Right.
Not that, obviously the patents and stuff is tremendous. And he does do some Batman shit in that. He's got the camera eye tech stuff. He's got but I'd give him like the electric gloves. Let him be grappling around, zipping around gargoyles and stuff. We need to see like a good comic booky Batman, I think.
Okay. Character that I think I need to see. I can finally hold on my Mr. Miracle. I still, in my heart of hearts, low-key wish it was a live-action show, because I want to see them truthfully adapt the comic. Like, I always had this like dream that like I feel like, I don't know, it's just after watching the TV show Barry that I feel like Bill Hader understands the serendipity and like the satire of what that comic was. And then, like I said, I think Dylan O'Brien would be the absolutely most perfect Mr. Miracle you can ask for. That being said, a character, I think Martian Manhunter. I was going to say Martian Manhunter would be perfect. Who's Mr. Milchek from Severance, who was just the greatest character ever in Mission Impossible? I always forget his name. I think he would be the absolutely perfect he would be the perfect Martian Manhunter. He would be phenomenal.
Tramel Tillman.
Yeah, Tramel Tillman would be the best Martian Manhunter.
He'd be pretty great.
Especially in this universe. Like, again, another actor that I think the studios are probably on the phone about, like, making sure they get them in their movies. Like, I think he'd be perfect. So, I think him as Martian Manhunter. I think for storylines, for something that James Gunn can weave, especially with my most anticipated project for the DCU post Superman, as of right this second, is Lanterns. I think it's Blackest Night. I think in a way, this universe is already lived in. It seems like he has a lot of stake in this Lantern show. I think you might be able to make the first event movie Blackest Night. And kind of like spin it, like, you know how like a lot of elements of like Thor's mythology dipped a lot into the Avengers movie? Like, you could probably spin that where like, obviously, like Hal Jordan and John Stewart wouldn't be the main character. Like, it would have to be Superman and Batman, whoever you have playing them. And Wonder, like, you could spin it maybe where like their lore what kind of takes the precedence as well too. I think Blackest Night would be...
That'd be cool.
And again, to my point, if you let James Gunn can get back to some of his horror roots as well too. Doing Blackest Night, I think, would be fun. He can do all his gore and all his fun stuff in that as well too.
Sure.
I mean, that's a big budget zombie movie if you want to call it that too.
Yeah. Everybody's zombies. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to meditate on this a little bit deeper.
I think a DCU update as post-Superman DCU episode is due.
10 minutes on Ironheart?
Yeah, I mean, up top...
Well, the last 3 episodes, I guess, because we kind of talked about the first 3.
Right, I mean, up top, the production value on this show is just amazing. Like, they use every penny on this show. You can see it. That suit is amazing. The visual effects are finished.
I loved it.
They look so good.
Makes me retroactively angry that they did the nanotech stuff with Iron Man in the later Marvel movies.
Yeah,
it reminded me a lot of like Iron Man 1.
Or he gets in the suit, he gets out of the suit. I like it. I like it so much. Dominique Thorne is just phenomenal as Riri Williams, and we talked about her arc.
It's good, man. I love that she's an imperfect character and who makes questionable choices.
We need more. We need more of that, and we need more. Like, especially in like our heroes. Like, we need See, I'm of two accords because, like, obviously we just saw Superman, and I'm like, a character that's just good to be good. Like, but that's Superman. That's Clark Kent. Of course, he's good to be good. Like, I like the fact that you might get an Ironheart. That's like, she's going to make a bit of more, like, she'll save people, and like she's doing it for the right reason, but she's also young. She's also going about it the wrong way. And I mean, we can just get the spoiler warning right out of the way. When the devil comes knocking on the doorstep, I don't care what most of you said, some people are going to listen, and some people are going to take the deal. And they did it.
SBC, man. SBC came in.
Sacha Baron Cohen as Mephisto.
Loved it.
What a way to introduce him as well, too. And, like, that also opens up a whole new can of worms where, like, who else did he get to? Who else in the MCU did he get to and make deals with?
Yeah. I thought he came in. You could tell that they studied a lot of Tom Ellis and Lucifer to kind of round out. I mean, right down to like him staring. Have you ever seen Lucifer? Like, he has a bit where he like stares into your eyes and he's like, "Tell me your deepest desires." Like Mephisto does the same thing to. He does it to Parker Robbins and he does it to Riri, where he does that to them. But I thought he was great. Like, I'm excited to see more of him.
He had, like, this trust to him where he's like, you know what, listen, I'm just here to help. I just need something from you, but you're not even...
like the spoon, when he does the spoon flip and you see his true Mephisto form in the reflection of the spoon, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah. I can't believe they did it.
I know. After all these years.
WandaVision, eat your heart out. I can't believe they did it.
Yeah.
Insane. And they did it in the Ironheart show. I think that was a decision to help that show as well too. To get more viewers on that show, get more looks, because I saw all the YouTubers going on like reacting to episode 6 of Ironheart. They kind of structured it the same way they did Agatha, where like the episode 5 was like the show's ending, and then episode 6 was like the character's actual catharsis, which I thought was pretty interesting.
They kept Parker Robbins around.
Yeah.
Which I appreciate.
Yeah. The character they have playing Zelma as well, too, or the actor they have playing Zelma, I think they're going to go forward with that Strange Academy show. We got to really dip into this magic side of the MCU because, like, to your point, you have been. Yep.
It's the most consistent stuff that they have, is the mystical side.
And what this does is recontextualizes it, too, because, like, it's also about, like, now it's it's so normal. Like, we talked about Superman being lived in, like, the MCU, like, we actually watched it be lived in over the last how many years? In the last, 17 years?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Sheesh.
The MCU is almost old enough to drink.
Yeah. Are they doing that on purpose so that way Secret Wars is 20 years after Iron Man came out?
I guess.
I think they're waiting for a 20-year anniversary. Wow. 20 years. That's insane. Saw Iron Man 1 when I was 9.
There's so many... Yeah, I mean, this opens the door for so many... It opens the door, obviously, for, like, Chthon show up at some point.
Do you make... Because, what you could plausibly do, especially on the road to Secret Wars, I think Doctor Strange, like, you gotta pull on that thread as much as you can, because that character is going to be Multiverse of Madness is probably the most informative going into Star Wars. So, do you just say, hey, we got Sacha Baron Cohen locked down, he's on our side. Do we just do Doctor Strange 3? You already have, you also have, you have Charlize Theron as well, too. Like,
yeah.
Do you just do Doctor Strange 3, Mephisto, like them versus Mephisto, but you have the backdrop of the multiverse collapsing?
Yeah, and maybe Mephisto, like, offers Strange a deal.
Yeah. Oh, you know what you can do? Instead of it being, I forget from The Time Runs Out, Hickman Comics, who offers him, or Strange bargains for, what if Mephisto's like, I'm the one that can give you ultimate power to I can help you fix the universe. Because
we don't know what he can do.
No, I mean, it seems like he
can do anything.
He's pretty all-powerful.
He can bring people back from the dead.
Yeah, so, man, I mean, because isn't there a movie on the slate that nobody knows what it is, and it's supposed to come out before Secret Wars does?
I think so, yeah.
Do you just do Doctor Strange 3, you make Sacha Baron Cohen the villain, and you say, like, I'm about to help you save the multiverse?
There was obviously, the premise of the show was combining tech and magic, but there was an alarming amount of Doctor Strangeisms.
Down to the Zelma character, like a Zelma character who is
to the point where this feels like it's going to intertwine. Like, the next time we see Riri Williams might be in Doctor Strange 3.
Yeah. Yeah. We also need a season 2 of that show.
I don't know if we're going to get it.
I hope we do.
I hope we do too, yeah, but I don't know if we're going to get it.
I think because they switched to the Marvel Television thinking, I think we will.
I hope so. I just don't know. I just,
Right. Man, when I saw... just do Doctor Strange. Call it Time Runs Out. Like, Charlize Theron, Benedict Cumberbatch versus Sacha Baron Cohen.
Yeah,
all day.
Again, like, maybe you see Riri again, like, realizes she messed up. She goes to Zelma, like, I need you to bring me to Doctor Strange. Because he's got to know that there's a demon running around.
Right. And then Doctor Strange is like, there's not a demon running around, it's the demon that's running around.
I'm not helping any more teenagers.
No, I'm sick of it. She's like, but I'm 22.
Fair. I'm in. But no, man, I really enjoyed the way that show ended. I liked that. I liked, in a sick way, I liked that she took the deal.
Yeah, I think it just makes it...
She made a very human decision.
Yes, she did. It's the complexities. It's the complexities of such a simple one.
Because she was prepared to let her go. She was prepared to let Natalie go until she lost her again through the AI getting erased. And she could not let her go again.
Right.
She couldn't let her go twice.
Right.
And Mephisto was able to bring her back.
I wonder where this goes. I hope they just do a season 2. I just wonder what the approach is going to be, but... Yeah, maybe it is a Doctor Strange thing, and then it's a good contention for Doctor Strange to get the tech part of it as well, too. So, yeah.
Liked it. Liked Ironheart quite a bit.
Alden Ehrenreich as Zeke Stain. He got the comic lightning nano
powers
infusion thingies.
I liked it. I liked him. I think he's good. I think he's a good actor.
You heard he was supposed to... The original plan for Captain America 4 was that he was supposed to be the leader of the Serpent Society.
Yeah, they could still weave him into that stuff.
They could. Maybe he's the one that he takes the Serpent Society and he implants them with actual power.
Yeah.
And then they're the start of Captain. Hopefully we get another Sam Wilson Captain America movie. But maybe the start of that one's now the Serpent Society's back, but we're a problem now.
Yeah. I like that show a lot, man. I like the weird crew.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Hood's crew. I liked all those, like they all had like their all weird kind of ticks and gimmicks.
The White Castle sequence was awesome. I thought that was cool.
really like that.
I thought that was cool. I like that, like, this is something stupid, but like, I like that Riri can fight a little bit. Like, just a slight bit.
It's like when Tony fights.
It's because she's smart. Like, she's just an intrinsically smart human being. So, like, but like, I don't know why I took it this way. I feel like we're so forward in that world where, like, the most common of people can, like, fight a little bit because everybody's always fighting in that universe.
Yeah. Yeah. But no, I really liked it. I want to see more for that character. And obviously we're almost certainly gonna see more Mephisto, regardless.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't even be surprised if Mephisto finds his way into Secret Wars.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the fact that it's Mephisto. I think it's the fact that it's Sacha Baron Cohen even boosts that even more. Like the chances of like they know that like we got this off in an Ironheart and we saw the reaction to that. We put him in a movie as the main villain.
Yeah. Yep. Totally agreed. That's gonna do it for us this week. You can follow us on Twitter at ProjectINF_pod. You can follow us on Facebook. You can follow us on Instagram
At the Project Infinite Pod.
You can follow us on TikTok and YouTube at the Project Infinite Podcast. Next week is the week before Fantastic Four.
We have two options. We can do a post-Superman episode or we can do a pre-Fantastic Four episode.
Just because we've never touched it, I kind of want to talk about the Fantastic Four.
Maybe we talk about the movies.
And kind of just not just the movies, but just the movies, but also just the history of that group on screen and how we never really thought that this movie that's coming out would ever happen.
No.
Because it took a lot to wrestle these characters away from Fox.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to revisit those first two Fantastic Four movies, talk about them, talk about the impact that they had, talk about how they're low-key kind of good.
I think if you're using the mentality of the product of their time, it's the best. Like, they're very like fun and dumb, and I really appreciate that. I also think that Ioan Griffin is the perfect Mr. Fantastic. I think he is phenomenal as Mr. Fantastic.
I think they're all phenomenal in their own way besides Jessica Alba.
Yeah, I hate to touch on that. She is...
I don't think it's her fault.
No, not at all.
I don't... And we'll talk about this probably more next week, but I think they Fox, did not understand the character of Sue Storm. And they just wanted a hot woman.
Yeah, they wanted a supermodel to be,
And she's just there to look good. Really.
Yeah, they do the nude bit over and over again.
People are constantly commenting on her looks.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't think the studio really cared for the character of Sue Storm.
No. Which is super unfortunate.
Yeah.
Again,
so that's a pretty big stamp against those movies.
Michael Chiklis he is
Ben Grimm.
He is the rock of that team. He truthfully is.
He is the most Ben Grimm looking human I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then this is Chris Evans in his best early 2000s dickish glory that he was very well known for at the time, where he was just an arrogant prick in every movie that he was in. And it's Chris Evans at his peak powers before he becomes Captain America.
It's so crazy that he transitioned into Steve Rogers after that. It is nuts. It's 3 years within itself as well, too.
That's crazy, yeah.
It's insane. That movie, Fantastic Four, Rise of the Silver Surfer, here before Iron Man did. Same thing with Spider-Man 3. It's so crazy.
And then obviously we'll have to dedicate a lot of time to Cloud Galactus.
Why?
We don't know. Well, we're going to talk about it next week when we talk about the weird and interesting history of the Fantastic Four on film. Leading up to, obviously, Marvel's Fantastic Four, the first steps. So that's going to do it for this week. Really enjoyed Superman. Go see it. If you just like a good fun time. Great for all ages. I could definitely see like this being like a kid's first introduction into superhero movies.
But but Zack Snyder made an adult version of Superman, and I was like, when did you fall in love with Superman? When I was a kid. Whoop.
So yeah, that's what I think. So for me, I gotta be real careful here.
Yo, you don't have to this time.
Oh yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to be Mr. Terrific?
I do.
Cool. Is he cool?
Dang, Mr. Terrific.
And he was.
Yo, he was so cool. He was so cool.
R.I.P. Curtis Holt. You're no longer Mr. Terrific.
No.
I'm the goddamn Mr. Terrific.
Yo, he was the best part of that movie. No, he was, but he was.
I'm not messing around. I'm doing real important stuff.
Hey, quit messing around, man.
He was great. Yeah, the Mr. Terrific of the podcast.
Fair play.
Cool suit.
He's gonna keep that. I like it. He's gonna keep that suit, and I think the two of them
looks like they ripped him right out of the Alex Ross drawing.
Dude, it's insane. Now, why in Arrow did they give him cornrows, but he had his afro going into missions, but then he had the time to put his hair like that?
I don't know. I don't know why they did a lot with that character that they did in Arrow, to be honest. He's definitely not as cool as he is in this.
No. Not even close, man.
I know he explained why he had the fair play jacket in Arrow, but I can't for the life of me remember what he said.
It's the freaking... Wait, it's different, right? It's different from the comics?
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Whatever.
I'm on a DC kick now. I was watching The Flash the other day. I might just start... Come on, man.
The movie?
No.
Oh, okay, good.
It's watching the TV show.
There's never a reason to go back to that movie. Ever.
No.
It's bad. Bad movie. Alright, guys. We'll see you next week for Fantastic Four preview stuffs. Until then, goodbye.
Peace.